Rage on that beat, going crazy.
We don't do that here.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, today we got Freaky Friday. Where's the Freaky Friday banner? Oh, there it is. There is the Freaky Friday banner. Let's see. Good morning, guys. Good morning, Jake. Good morning, Vikrant. Good morning, Luke. Ricardo Architect. Tall Trader in the chat. Let's go. Joshua Rubin. Titus. Sandile. Morning, guys. Adnan. Welcome, Smike. Ellie, good morning. Morning, Nani. Hey, everybody. So, yeah, today's Freaky Friday. So we're gonna see what we have for fundamentals here. Let's close the week out. Enjoy. So be careful with the charts today. Yes. Be careful. Be very careful. Because we're getting the weekly candlestick is about to close here in 13 hours. Right? In 13 hours, 30 minutes, and 20 seconds. The weekly candlestick is about to close over here. And we don't know how it's going to close. You know, because if you look at this, this is still like indecision, right? Like we can see for basically this whole week, there's been kind of like some kind of indecision on the HTF. Because look at the amount of volume that's currently sitting in this thing. There's barely anything over there. I hate the last two hourly rejections. Yeah, look at this, man. No volume. No direction here. I mean, even if you look at the fundamentals for this week, we didn't really get anything kind of like moving markets. Let's just see what's going on here. Gold rises for third session. Gold rose around 33.30 per ounce on Friday, gaining for a third straight session, supported by safe haven demand amid escalating trade tensions. Meanwhile, Trump's call for a 300 basis points cut. Am I reading this right? A 300 basis points cut in the Fed's fund rate fuels speculation about dovish Fed nominee next year and raise concerns over long-term inflation expectations. I was a bit confused. What does it mean 300? Is this a typo? Should I say like 30? Usually it's between 25 or 50. It says 300. On the data front, initial jobless claims came in below forecasts, falling for a fourth week. So that's jobless claims and reinforcing the view of a resilient labor market following last week's strong non-farm payroll report. Market continued to price in 2 rate cuts this year through rate futures suggest a consensus for a hold at the upcoming meeting. Yeah, definitely going to be a hold. This is going to be at the end of this month here. We're going to have the FOMC again. They're most likely going to hold, just like they're saying over here. Yeah, for me, this is like something that I'm not even paying so much attention to right now because nothing is moving the market. It says, yeah, okay, so we got trade tensions, but Goldie is still not behaving directionally. We're getting volume, which is awesome. You know, we're getting some kind of volume and swings in the market, which is really nice, but just not that direction though. I feel like we're just majorly ranging. You can see price action here off the daily, still majorly ranging. So don't get lost in the sauce. Because, you know, a lot of the time you might see something and then you think that is the reason now gold should stop moving up to 3,500. Don't get lost in the sauce. Because the proof is going to be in the pudding, right? It's going to be when price starts to move. Because you can't hide it. The candle will need to start moving. We need to start breaking key levels of structure if we're going to be heading towards, like, you know, 3,500. Despite anything that comes out, you know? Like, there could be a nuclear war and gold could still not move if we're not breaking structure. So we need to break structure. We need to break structure. Right now, the way we're sitting on Goldie is kind of like, it's kind of concerning. Because we got a support area right here. We got another support area here. So we got resistance by, you know, like 3360 and support here by 3300. You got 3300 psychological mark. So, you know, like price is just moving sideways here. So this is going to be interesting for the next week though. if we can start at least breaking some key levels over there. But our analysis from last weekend actually, you know, it played out pretty spot on here. We still ended up getting the wick fill, and price did fill up the range down towards this area. But yeah, I think that's it. Maybe we can even remove that zone there. I think this looks a lot cleaner. You got 32.72 over there. I think gold is trying to go back up right now. I see a little bit of a fake out situation happening here on the 5-minute. Actually, you know, this is like my trade. This is the trade that I took yesterday. Yeah, this is a trade that I took yesterday here. This is like similar idea, you know. Like price was giving me that fake out confluence, got into the break of the highs. That was a pretty nice move. That was a really nice move. Let me send you guys a link. Here in the gulag. I'm gonna send the gulag a link. Send the gulag a link. So this was the idea. Was a similar structure like what we're having over here. See how price broke below that little fakey situation? And then we also had some rejection wicks. Look at this. Actually, this is good. This is good. When I take this trades, actually, it's pretty nice that I'm recording them because I can use them as examples here as well. So I'm going to see if I can catch another move. Hopefully, I can catch another move today. You know, but obviously, like, you don't wanna overtrade or you don't wanna revenge trade on a Freaky Friday. Just like be careful. But yeah, we had this little fake out situation, and that lined up beautifully for a potential buy. This actually had a really nice running opportunity as well. I think the market just had to take out the positions here before it started to move up though. But it started to move up here towards the target, which was... Oh, where is it? Did I not add an after picture? Oh, yeah, here towards this resistance. Remember what we said? Like, whenever you're looking at price, let's say you're taking an entry here and you see like, oh, you know, you got a range. There's a range that you can fill. But we just had... I guess the tricky thing with this, we had to get through this level over here. You know, and that's the level that we tapped into. And I think it triggered in some buyers over here, and then it pulled them back down, probably like taking some buyers out here on this candlestick. And then it came back down to retest these zones, maybe getting people out break even who are already in profit. And then it's decided to move up. So, you know, like when you look at markets in terms of this perspective, you really see that the market is not your friend. Sometimes it's going to play out, sometimes it's not going to play out. So it's very difficult psychologically to like still hold drawdown on a winning trade. It would have been nicer if this did not happen. You see that wick? If you put the line graph on, it's just going to be like a support over there. But obviously the wicks are a little bit more flexible. That's what typically screws a lot of people, is the wicks. But you got to manage your risk because, you know, sometimes it's not a wick. Sometimes a candlestick just comes down like this. So yeah, it's a bit 50-50. Sometimes, you know, on the 1 minute it's easier to see it because the candlestick is about to close, so you can kind of gauge it better with the 1 minute closing. But on the higher time frames, it can be a little tricky. Yeah, and then fill up the range here beautifully up towards resistance. A little choppy, but you know, it was pretty nice. It was pretty nice. I think like for the trade this morning was a lot cleaner as well. Because, you know, we had like some really nice range here. We had some really nice range. We didn't have any of that sort of like structure on the left hand side, right? And price could keep moving up over there, so that's pretty good. And that's currently what Goldie is doing. That's what I think it's doing. We might be looking to correct this move again. There's a pretty nice opportunity there for a correction. Asia sessions for gold has been volume time recently. Mm-hmm. Yeah, look at this, man. Got a really nice push over there. What is that? During Asia session, we have the Tokyo and then Sydney Open. I guess this is somewhere around like the Sydney Open, right? Sydney Open. Man, it's been ages since I ever looked at a trading Asia session. But I think there's a small break and then Tokyo and then Sydney, something like that. But yeah, it's pretty nice for a little fakey over here. Because even the way I'm looking at price, it's like, you know, the daily is bullish right now. It's up 0.32% here on the daily time frame. You got like some kind of support level over here. Price is faking below that support level. You got some clean range on the left hand side up towards resistance. It doesn't make sense that price continues to move down, at least from my perspective, because you got like all the support levels here. You got a lot of support levels over there. So the path of least resistance is what I'm seeing is upwards. So you get through these SMAs. Got that 15-minute SMA catching up, 30-minute SMA over there. You need to get through those SMAs. Hourly is ranging like crazy. Think this is what Vikram is saying. I hate the last two hourly rejections. Yes, this would be like a wick fill, if anything, but massive rejections. I wonder why Goldie's rejecting so much here. I guess that's that weekly Freaky Friday behavior, because it's literally the weekly candlestick is reflipping. It keeps flipping like this, basically. That's what the weekly is doing inside this area. That's creating a bit of consolidation, maybe like a bit of hesitation. Any fundamentals today? Today we have the GDP. We got GDP for the pound. The numbers came out negative. But besides from that, no, we don't have anything. So, you know, Freaky Friday here is looking pretty good. There's nothing. Nothing. Yeah, so let's see. Well, markets have been actually quite nice of late. They're really nice. They've been moving quite okay. Yeah, the swing entry models are coming into play again mid of the week. Last 2 weeks, I think the beginning of the weeks have not been so good on the swing entries, like at the specific London open time. But mid of the week for the last 2 weeks, mid of the week towards the end of the week have been really nice. Have been really nice. What are you expecting? Probably last trade of the week. Let's see the 30-minute time frame. Ooh, yeah, we got barcoding here. Candlesticks printing right next to each other. This looks like it could be a massive correction, but we got 3 minutes here though. It's creating like some kind of support. So this is like the range. Let's draw the range here. And you got a support level down over here. 30-minute looks not so good on the HTF here. We got multiple levels of support. The sells don't look good. Like honestly, the sells look more like they look more difficult for price to move down, honestly speaking. Yeah. So 15-minute, you can see that range a bit better. Thumbnail fire. Thank you, man. Thank you, doctor. Already made profit. Nice one, Jake. Yeah, we'll gotta see if Trump says anything on over the weekend that could potentially move markets. You're on a mixed bias right now? Yeah, Delhi's not trending too much. It's only up 0.30%. But we're definitely just moving sideways. We're definitely just moving sideways here. Hourly rejecting massively. I think that's what's kind of scaring people here, is those hourly rejections. I mean, it's got, like, if you look at it from the HTF here, you've got some pretty key levels that the hourly's tapping into. So just tapping into some kind of resistance up over here by 33.43. You know, I think it's gonna take quite a bit of volume to break above that area. That's also, if you go on the daily time frame, that's also, you can see that this whole zone is not a very nice zone. This is like daily resistance, and there's not that much range for price to move. So I think, you know, the higher time frames are looking at this and they're thinking, what are we gonna do? That's why we're also seeing the LTF, like the 1 hour, it's creating those wicks, you know, as price keeps trying to push up there, it's creating those wicks. But on the LTF, like on the lower time frame, like the 5 minute and the 1 minute, it's creating some nice opportunity. But it's a higher time frame which is struggling to break above this zone right over here. That's why I said, like, whenever price is at levels of support resistance is like one of the most key fundamental things to understand. I feel like that's one thing that it's really important to understand that. Even if you trade these smart money concepts which use wicks and inversions and whatnot, it's really good to understand these high time frame levels where price can have some potential struggles. Now the 4 hour looks like it wants to reflip, huh guys? We got the 4 hour resistance here. It looks a lot cleaner on the 4 hour. Keeps tapping into this zone. I think the 4 hour could have a pretty strong flip. If it was to flip and re-break its lows, at least the 4 hour time frame looks clean. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 4-hour candles over here. Higher time frame resistance. That's if it was to reflip and break its lows. I think it would move based off the HDF. It would move based off the HDF and these sort of rejections. But at the same time, man, it looks like price is really trying to wick fill. Because it's just in a consolidation overall. But yeah, if this thing just rips down, breaks these lows, maybe it can ignore that the lower time frame has support areas. That works really nice on the 1 minute consolidation play. So if you see a beautiful accumulation and then price breaks and you got levels of resistance on the left hand side, you know, sometimes price can just ignore those levels because it's in a distribution. It's got to move in a certain direction. So it's a kind of similar concept I'm trying to apply here on the 4 hour. Of course, I have no data for that, but that's what I would be expecting. 4 hour reflip, break of the lows, and that could be a reason for price to keep moving down there. Because the lower time frames are very choppy, but to the downside. So the buys look a lot cleaner on the LTF. Lots of liquidity down below. Yeah, man, there's a lot of liquidity everywhere here. This is a big liquidity pool. Everything is liquidity. Even 1 pip it moves like this, that's also liquidity. Tetra, please, can you tell me how do you do your thumbnail, please? Those are company secrets, Glenn. We cannot disclose the super secret TFX strategy for thumbnails. Sorry. Y'all guys see the new rules for AI on YouTube? They want to ban all AI created content, like videos and stuff. Which I think is pretty good. I actually find those AI videos quite annoying. Did you guys find them annoying? Because you immediately know it's AI and the voice on the sounds annoying. The voice on those videos is so annoying. So it's a good thing, man. It's a rare W for YouTube. YouTube has more L's than W's. This is a rare W for YouTube. And I don't know what else to say. Like they want to stop monetizing AI videos and low effort content, whatever that means. Maybe low effort content is those girls who smile and get 1 million views. Maybe that's low effort content. Maybe that's low effort content. Na, 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 na. Do, do, do. So yeah, prices just kind of... It's moving up. It's moving up slowly but surely. Where can I share my trade history with you? You can send it here onto the Discord channel. We can look at your trades over here. Maybe on the analysis group. Maybe the trades taken over here. This is awesome, man. It's always so interesting when people try and pocket watch or like try and decipher this information here. This total trades 215, win rate 68.37%, average risk to reward ratio 1 to 1.11. Yeah, I think this is about right. This seems about right. Most traded pairs gold 165, GJ50. Consolidation 117, swing 57, shotgun 28. Most active sessions London 117, NY 52, pre-London 46. Starting account balance hypothetical 100,000. Final account balance simulated non-compounded 242k. Account growth non-compounded 142%. Simulated compounded. Yeah, man, if you compound, this is the thing about trading, man. If you start compounding, your gains are just gonna exponentially increase. Yeah, so we got non-compounded 242, compounded for basically double. Account growth 305% compounding. Yeah, I think compounding is the secret thing. I don't think you guys can see it so well. Let me peek it out over here. You can see 305%. Yeah, I think compounding is a secret thing. Man, like when I was starting, and you know, much like all of us, when we start a trade, we always try and see how we can grow the account. We always have these numbers in our heads that we're trying to get to. Right? So when I started trading with a little money. You know, I don't come from like a very rich background. I come from like a middle class background. So you know, we're comfortable. I went to like a good school, but you know, nothing too crazy, just basic middle class, right? And I didn't have too much money. So man, when I was starting, my major goal was to have $1,000 in my account. You know, I started with about, I can't remember like fully, it's like 400, 500 bucks, somewhere around there. And my major goal was to get it to $1,000. And I always thought, man, if I can get it to $1,000, that's gonna look really professional. You know, get some more digits on my MetaTrader, that's gonna look really nice. But you know, the lesson that I learned was, once I got it to 1,000, the lesson was not in getting it to 1,000 to just have a bigger account that I would still be slowly losing. It was to understand the power of being able to work towards goals. You know, working towards saving and building an account. So yeah, it taught me some financial literacy. So that's the thing I love about trading. It's always going to teach you some level of financial literacy that can be not as exciting to work towards on just like a day-to-day basis, but it gives you like a goal. It gives you something to work towards. That's why I say, like, whenever I get like an Uber ride, I'm gonna give the guy like 4 stars and tell him the last star you could work. I want to give you something to work towards for 5 stars. Because you know, nothing's never 100%. There's always some kind of like room for improvement. You know, like for my trading strategy, I always think like maybe there's 100%. I can get to 100% one day. But I think life is all about adapting, you know, like things are always shifting and changing. So it's all about adapting, having a solid foundation. And I think once you have that core foundation, that's what actually keeps you grounded in a sense. It keeps you moving in the right direction, correct? You made peace with losing it all? I think I spend more money on courses than I did on the market itself. Because, you know, the idea is to keep the risk low in the beginning. I definitely spend more money on courses. Because that's something that for me, I saw like I can get value from this. You know, I can get like a very good value from this. Then if, let's say, for example, I lost $300 in the market, it would not be the same than if I just, you know, learn how to trade. There's more value in that. There's more value in that. Problem is people blow too quickly and then they can't learn the lessons that they need to learn. Yeah, so anyway, we got price here still trying to trickle upwards. Let's go back on the 30. Hey, let's see the 5. 5 starting break above. SMA's over there. That's pretty nice. So this is going to bounce between this range. There was no sells unless that 4-hour could reflip and break its lows. I learned all by myself. Just sat there for 10 hours a day. Nice. Yeah, me too. That's exactly what I did. Always having the charts open and listening. Just listening. Nice. Well, it's pretty nice consolidation here. This range is like this range is about 131 pips. Just close your trade, dubs. Nice. Yeah, this is a new, because of the new Owly here. Let's see how this Owly's. Oh, wow, look at this. So we're getting the hourly wick fill with that a 8 SMA over here. Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think the way price is moving now, it makes sense. This makes sense to me. If the 4-hour doesn't flip and break the lows, this is the area here of least resistance that price can move up. Is that your last trade for the day? Done W. Probably last trade of the week. Nice. Yeah, I think, man, I think I'm trying to break boundaries here for myself. You know, like Fridays is definitely a good day to take it easy on a Friday. But I might look for another setup. I might look for another setup later. We'll see. We'll see how the market moves. It's Freaky Friday after all. And price is up 0.40%. It hasn't yet had the major freaky move for Friday. But sometimes Freaky Friday could also just consolidate if it's not going to go anywhere. Because the daily time frame is quite hard to get through that daily resistance area here by 33.43. So it could just range for Freaky Friday. Or maybe we can see like a big dump later on during the New York session. What's the LTF and middle time frame reaction to new versus... Wait, what's the LTF and middle time frame reaction to new versus HTF? What does that mean? That sounds like a complicated math equation. I hated that whole XY equals Z thing. You know, math? Me and math were like water and oil. My man just threw some words together. Yeah, no idea. No idea what's in the middle of a lower time frame and higher time frame. Price still's got some gas in the tank here to head towards the next pit stop. Next station here. Well, let's see as it creates its structure. You know, sometimes it creates a structure like this. It says like, okay, you know, I'm driving here. I can make it to this next petrol station. But just to be on the safe side, we can refuel here, create a support, so we can keep going without any problems. So I think that's where, at least that's why I believe the target should be. 33, 33, 43-ish. I like the idea of sells because of HDF resistance. Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people are looking at, right? They're looking at this higher time frame resistance. But you have to still wait for some sort of structure, because right now, obviously, it's still pushing up. Approached resistance and bounced back. Previous lows broken. Headed at the bottom of the range. SMA confluence. Awesome. Yeah, see, like, this is like a V-shaped reversal, but no, not enough structure for me at least. But, you know, you made it work. I think you're taking it off the HDF, as you said. Maybe on the 1 minute, though, something there. Like some kind of breakout. Oh, nice. You got the buys. Nice one, Vaughn. Oh, we also got Derek here. Derek got the buys. Nice. Yeah, that was quite a bit of confluence here for this move. See, we got the before picture and then price continue to move up. First trade of Freaky Friday secured 65% mark. Just realized that perfect timing will give you an easy trade. Yes. Yeah, I mean, like, for me, definitely that pre-London time up until stream, there's always some kind of opportunity for volume. And then when you get the London Open, man, sometimes you get London Open, it pushes. Sometimes London consolidates. But I know up until that London Open, we can get like a lot of moves. Like, for example, today I was not on the charts for that long either. Because this has been something I've been noticing of late. I've been coming onto the charts a little bit later than I usually do and still managed to catch a move. So that's what I thought about here today. While I was lying in bed, I was like, Goldie's alright. Everybody's on vacation right now, so it's probably gonna move. Came onto the charts and we had this banger. But there was a few moves that happened before. Oh, nice. Man, look at this. The range here is now getting filled up. Let's see how much of this area has been filled. Got about almost close to that 65% mark. Has been filled. So it's basically doing the same thing. You know, the same thing that happened over here is the same thing that's happening right now. Price came down. A little bit of a fake out situation here as well. A few rejection wicks. A little bit of a fake out situation here as well. A little rejection wick. And then filled that wick. Came back, reversed, broke the highs. And now it's filling the range on the left-hand side. Congratulations to everybody who executed on that. Very well done. I think that was a clean move, honestly. I think it made the most sense for any sort of direction, you know. I think that just made the most sense. The sells were a lot sketchier, man. We got too many support levels down there. Plus, we're just moving sideways. I think it's pretty nice. Yeah, I saw your thumbnail. You're getting jacked, dude. Man, I wish to get to that level soon. Look at this, man. We gotta go to the gym again today. I think the key thing is hitting it at least 3 times a week. You know, that's always a nice goal. Look at this, 65% here has been smashed. 2 times a week is pretty good, but yeah, we don't have time. We don't have time. I think people think they have a lot of time. So they say the graveyard is a place where people died with so many ideas because they thought they had time. Gotta say these last few weeks have been a bit slower than this time last month. Hope it picks up soon. Don't like the idea of sitting in front of the screen all day. Man, like July is an awesome month. Man, July is one of my awesome... I was already anticipating this, you know. I've been trading here for 5 years, so I know, like, June, my Junes are not that good. Like, June, you see this year, obviously 11%. Last year was the same thing. In June, I also had something like, I think, 14%. And then, yeah, something with June. I don't know what it is with June. It's probably just because it's midway of the year, you know. So it's like market's also taking a small break. Last year in June, I did like 13%. And then look at this. In July, boom. back to normal results. But I didn't overtrade as much in July. It took about like okay, not bad actually. 31 trades, but yeah, the P&L was still pretty good. Got really nice streaks here as well. That was like a 16 streak win streak. Yeah, but I think I was scalping a lot. That's why I got 19%. I wasn't holding my trades. I should have held more trades. But you see, like July's kicking up again. Already in July, I'm up about like 23% now. Last year, August is pretty good as well. August 22. Ooh, September 11%. And October kicked up again, 20. November, and then December, you kind of like take it easy here in December. December, we took like 18 trades. Yeah, I think it's pretty nice. I think July is going to be a good month. Honestly, chat, I've forgotten how to vacation. I don't even know how to relax anymore. Because when I relax, I'm always thinking of the money that I can be making. You know, if I just sit down and relax, that's a day that I could have made money. So it's very hard to relax. Hey, I just joined the Discord, sent you... Oh, nice. No, watch out on Discord. There's a lot of like these fake accounts. I don't talk to anybody on Discord, but just share your analysis here. You know, we can break down your trades. We just have the open community channels, but I don't do direct messages. Hey Vic, this is the trade I was talking about. What do you think? This is a sell on GJ. I haven't seen this. I think you gotta send in a label chart. That's what I think. Because I can't also read your mind, you know? I don't know why that you took a trade here off the 4-hour time frame and how you got such an entry like this. I mean, it's a really nice trade. You got like a John Wick entry here. You got a 4-hour resistance. I'm guessing this is what you're looking at, was a 4-hour resistance and you just wanted to sell GJ. Yeah, you gotta send in a label chart. Dude. Oh, don't expect you to reply me on IG, man. Thank you for the humbleness, Vic. I respond to all my IG messages. That's one thing I respond to. Yeah, let me send you guys my Instagram. If you message me on Instagram, I will respond to Instagram. But looking at, oh man, look at that, how fucking clean this move is. This is literally like clockwork today. This is literally like clockwork here today. I'll send you a label chart. Nice. Yeah, send me a label chart. Doot. Oh, is this the buy? Always forget that I need to wait for the candle to close. But pretty nice trade though. Second and last trade today. Awesome. It's like, you know that saying that you never miss a move. It's true. Like in the market, like sometimes you can't really miss a move. There's always going to be a move. There's always going to be abundance of moves. So if let's say you missed this morning, look at that. This is literally the same opportunity. It's just like, I think what happened was it came down to take out these lows over here. So anybody who's being greedy, fortunately they get taken out and then price continues in that direction. It happens quite a lot. If you notice, usually like people can have a nice push, then markets will come, take them out, and then continue in that direction. So it's just like tying up loose ends. Got a buy here on the 3-minute. Let's see, time V-shape reversal. Yeah, Yeah, this is my favorite market conditions. See how like price is swinging like this. There's these swings. It's really good. It's a little bit more predictable when it's doing that. Ever considered trading gold futures? It's like gold spot but with no spread. No, I've never considered, unless like there's some kind of restriction for why I can't trade gold spot, then I'll trade futures. Yeah, you know the good thing about being a trader is you can move to whatever country you want to if you're having like very strong restrictions and still have the ability to trade what you want to trade. So I think like with my history with gold, I would not want to give away my I got a good psychology with just a gold spot. I would not want to trade that in for futures. I would rather move country and just keep trading gold if that was the case. When would a second trade not be necessary? I think if your first trade was like a really big losing trade, then you would not take another trade. Like let's say if your daily limit is 2%, and you go past 2% or you hit 2%, then I think you should just call it a day over there. Because, you know, if you take another trade, you can just dig the hole deeper. Negative 3% potentially. So you're always thinking about the risk first, you know, when you're taking your second trade. But one thing I've noticed is with time, you can give yourself more risk. You can take more risky approaches towards trading with time because you have a bit more experience. Correct? You know how your month is going to end, how your months typically end, how your days typically end. Then even if you, for me personally, if I'm down even 2%, I could still take another trade because I know with the data that that's going to come around anyway. I think the thing is just don't dig the hole too much, you know, like if that 2% loses for me, man, I would just call it a day. Then maybe a worst case scenario, I'm down like 3.5% or something like that. Then I would just call it a day. From this point onwards, I think you just dig in an unnecessary hole. But you know, sometimes shit happens and, you know, like you take big losses and yeah, it is what it is. Trading futures is quite hard using sell orders and buy orders in SLs and TPs that you sometimes forget to fill order when you're off the charts. Might be a good question, bro. What's the difference between spot and futures for those that are maybe newer to trading? I don't think there's like so much a difference. It's the price action is more or less the same. Price action is more or less the same. See, there's gold futures over here, and it's basically the same. Basically the same thing that happened. Pre-London push up, price came down. I think the price points are different though. This says 33.49. Let's see on dollar. On here it's 33.40. Yeah, futures I've noticed it's always a little bit ahead. It's a little bit ahead in terms of the price point. But structurally speaking, it's the same thing. Head and shoulders. Potentially, if this starts to come down, then you got left shoulder. Boom, boom, boom. Head, right shoulder, and then price pushes. I have fear of charts with gaps. Yeah, me too. I don't like the gaps. See, that looks so much nicer, right? When we came back onto gold. Gold spot. That's also the broker, probably. In futures, it's contracts and you need to roll over in the next month if you're holding it. Yeah. Nice one, Kraken, because it's in the future. In the casino, it's called the get even or get even worse. That's a good one. And but for me, casino is go big or go home. If you go into casino with, let's say, $1,000, That for me is already money that I've lost. I've accepted that I've lost that $1,000 and that's okay. Go big or go home. I have rarely ever left the casino. Like if I'm losing on a casino day, I am losing. I'm leaving the casino with all that money I came to gamble. I've never really like gone to a casino with like $1,000 and then plan to manage my risk. You know, I never plan on risk management at the casino. It doesn't make sense. Just have some fun. I never think about, oh, we gotta manage risk here. We gotta manage risk. Well, there's a bit of risk management. Okay, there's a small bit of risk management, but it's like it's all gambling anyway. Because you don't have probabilities. Nice. So we're moving up here. 33.43 magnet. Very clean move. Trying to re-break these highs again. Buy them wicks. 33.43. Oh, beautiful wick fill though. Could you imagine like people taking a sell over here, thinking that this is the rejection, that price is gonna sell off, and then you just get a massive wick fill, complete opposite direction of what the HTF is telling you it should do. So you still had to wait. If you're looking for those sells, the best case scenario for those sells would have been a 4-hour candle flip and re-break of the lows, and then you're banking on the HTF, the 4-hour, that it's gonna keep coming down. But you see, since you didn't get that, it made more sense for price to move up. Yeah, very simple. I think it's very simple. When you see this happen over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. But the problem is like when it's not happening, you forget that that works. You forget that that works, and then you go and strategy hop. That's typically what strategy hopping is. It works, it works, it works. It obviously has this point where it stops working, and then you go to the next thing. Then you notice, oh, but this is working right now. This is working, so let me do this. And you're going to do this, and then that's going to stop working. Then you're going to go to the next strategy. Oh, but this one's working. And then it's like a never-ending loop. Because the markets just can't like have one thing operate the same way like continuously. It has to have seasons, you know. You got to have seasons, like good seasons, bad seasons. And the market can be quite bipolar as well. Bought the dip, 100 in the pocket. Nice one, man. Agreed, if I'm in the casino, I'm sending it. Lol, 1,000 in right pocket. Gamble till it's gone. As soon as it is, I'm out. Whether I have money in my left pocket or not. Yes. Yeah, exactly. And I think it's just it's a nice kind of bonding, you know. You go there, you can bond with your friends. You can just like, you know, chill, kill some time. I think it's such a nice place to kill time. And you also don't have like the windows, obviously, that block the windows off so you can stay in there longer. And just like chill, you know. It's a comfortable environment. Comfortable environment. Meet some interesting people. See people with tons of money. Man, like for me, it's the Chinese people, man. I see these Chinese people in the casino. They are loaded. Those guys, they don't fuck around when it comes to gambling. Like, honestly, I think they got strategies and they're probably profitable somehow because the amount of money that they risk is absurd. It's just too much. They're making too much money. You know, and they got really nice deals because you gotta find Chinese everywhere in the world. Because, you know, you're not gonna find as much Americans, for example, as you would like Chinese. Like, Chinese are literally everywhere. And they get like special permissions and their families get to travel to these countries because they're part of these companies who are investing in these countries. And they go to these countries and they just ball out. Sometimes they get special permissions to also buy properties in those countries because of the companies they work with. It's like the changing world order, basically. Like, China is definitely at the top secretly, I think. The Changing World Order by Ray Dalio. You should check that video out on YouTube. It's a really good video on market cycles. Chinese gambler equals money goals. It's in their religion to gamble once a week. The way I've experienced it, it almost feels cultural. And very superstitious as well. I'm not too superstitious in the casino, but people who do it like seriously are a little bit more superstitious. Of course, like if someone is risking a lot more, then they want all the possible odds in their favor. Like, you know, it's a mental thing. Like, even if you're trading and let's say you're taking a really big risk, you wouldn't be scalping just the way you'd normally scalp. You want as much odds in your favor. So you end up taking way less trades. That's what y'all do when you do your funded challenges, correct? Like you look at it and say, this is going to be like a lot of money. So I want a very good probability trade. You know, I don't want to trade on a red folder day, for example. I don't like red folder day. Let me look for a good day. You start getting a bit more superstitious about your trades as you're trying to pass those initial phases. Wow, man. I think, could this be the original runner over here? But it has so much work to do to get through that daily resistance. But the way I'm thinking is like, this could actually potentially be that original runner, because if price tried to shoot up once and it took out the buyers here, now that it's taken out the buyers, could this be the original bull run to wherever it's trying to head up here? So let's look at it in terms of like the daily time frame. So if we got a daily candlestick right now, it's bullish. We can, if we keep going up, man, we could see like, you know, price can move up about to 33.70, but it just has so much structure here on the left hand side. So maybe I'd say if I had a daily target in mind, it would probably be like 33.60, and then we just kind of range within this area. So that's going to be quite an interesting zone as we come into the next week as well. Like what price is going to do by these daily resistance points. This is going to be very, very interesting. Because, you know, when we started the week, we had some areas to move, right? We had this zone from here to here. We could have easily moved that zone, right? We had this zone, price came down, it filled up that range, and then it created opportunity on this candle. On this candle, that we could get like a correction. Basically, what's happening on the 5 is the same thing that's happening here on the daily of this Tuesday candlestick. There's like a clean body right here that price could move up. Right, so for me, it's interesting. I want to see price potentially hit like 33.60, and then next week, maybe we're going to look at this range over here, down towards again 3,300. Because market's not moving anywhere anyway, so this candle is going to create like some range like this, and then maybe next week start to move somehow down again. That's what I think I'll be anticipating. But yeah, man, like price action right now is pretty nice. It might have been set up for a potential sell back down. Perfect John Wick area. Buys at the lows, sell at the highs. Very nice and clean. Taking one trade a day gave me the most profitable week I ever had. Yeah, I think so, man. 100%. One trade a day, you're going to have a better P&L. Just stick to your best setups. Actually, you know, if that's one thing I would have changed about my trading, like to enjoy it a bit more, was taking less trades in the week. I should have traded, like when I was really trying to make profits, I think what would have helped me even during that time when I was not profitable was sticking to like one trade a day. If I could get a good setup, that is, but not rushing it. I think that's the closest you're going to get to consistency. Is if you're taking like these higher probability trades, because you're taking these trades where most of the people who are consistent are maybe going to be looking and seeing like, oh yeah, that was an obvious move. That was a very obvious move. You know, sometimes you get these moves that we can all see and you get a general consensus on. Yeah, I think then you get closer to that point, because what you're essentially trying to do is, if somebody is profitable and they made money here, you're asking yourself, like, how could I replicate that move? You know, you're asking, how could I be in the same areas wherever people are making money, here or here? How can I be part of those people who are making money? And you got to have a better chance when you're waiting for more confluence as a new trader. Why one trade if you can have 5 wins a day? But you see, it's like much harder to have 5 wins a day, isn't it? I wish like you could just have 5 wins a day, but the more you're in the market, the more risky it is. It would be nice though. I will take as many valid entries a day if I can. Yeah, I think tall trader is the same way. I think in some extent you would say something similar. No, that you would take if the setup is there. Yeah, this is what you'd say. If the setup is there, take the setup. I think that's what you'd say. I think you said that once before. Like if the setup is there, you just gotta take the setup because it's a setup, right? But every setup is gonna have a different probability of winning and losing, depending on the market condition too. This was a really good swing entry, but previous hourly put you off. The rejection wicks there, yeah. But that's the thing. It's like anything can happen in the market. So this is why I don't like. Sometimes I hate these types of things, and they also put me off. Sometimes I see like, okay, let's say if price is moving up, we're up like 50%, 0.50%, and I see my sell confirmation. Definitely, it puts me off. And it's not a comfortable place to be in. But the worst thing is having that sell, for example, in a bullish environment, play out. You know, that's also like very painful. So you got to choose like which pain is worse. The pain of missing the move or the pain of getting faked out. So it's like, are you going to feel more pain if you follow your rules and you took a loss? Or are you going to feel more pain if you didn't follow your rules and it's a winning trade? It's like the pain of doing or the pain of regret. Missed 2 buy opportunities. Would you advise me to place the sell opportunity that is likely to form? I mean, I wouldn't advise you anything. That was already a buy here. I think with the buys it was nice because the daily was bullish. That's the only thing. But the sell is also not a bad probability because it's at resistance. It's at resistance and there's some kind of range here to fill too. So I would say it wouldn't be a bad idea. Like this paid out, would rather be okay missing out as it's Friday. Nice. Yeah, you just have to be comfortable. You have to be okay with it. You have to be okay with missing then. Does look like a short maybe coming into IMO, but nothing I'd hold on to longer term. Yeah, quick scalp, true. It's much easier to hold if at least the daily is in your favor, right? If you got the daily is bullish, then you can it's easier to hold that than go against the daily. Wait, what did we do yesterday? Didn't we have no bottom wick on the daily? Did we end up forming it? Damn, we actually did end up going down. We did end up forming the bottom wick. This is... Wait, wasn't somebody taking the sell yesterday? Let's see, boom. Price moved up. There's a swing entry confirmation here which should have survived. If you're just leaving it open to catch the daily bottom wick. Came really close to stopping those highs out. But eventually did go down to create the bottom wick. It came really close to it too. This was like towards these highs. It didn't break, but it stopped right at the same level. Or it broke by 0.2 pips. It's usually enough to trigger some people out. It happened in NY session, the bottom wick? Yes, yeah, exactly. Man, that was a really good sell. That was a really good selling yesterday. Well, you'd have to have some serious cojones though, because for that move, you'd kind of have to ignore the risk management though. and accept the drawdown for potential move to the downside. Because remember, the market, just as we spoke about earlier, the market's not your friend. It's going to try and take you out, even if it wants to go down to your target. And if it's a pretty ambitious target, if you got an ambitious target, then it's going to sometimes, you know, try and like really test you. It's going to put you through trials. Not going to make it easy for you. That's the thing about risk to reward. It doesn't make it easy for you. Sometimes it does. Like this trade this morning had like a beautiful follow through, you know, like those are beautiful trades. That's usually why I say it's better to like even take more break evens just to catch one of these positions whereby it just keeps running, then take the additional drawdown. Absolutely, I'd way rather trade in line with the HDF. Still trying to push here. 33.43. Candlestick's about to close in 40 seconds. Might do like a little fakey up there. Yeah, but this is awesome, man. We finally got the targets here at 33.43. Have been hit. And that's the move. That is the whole move that has now been completed and the range is filled. Awesome. Very nice. Next breakout coming. Yes, I think so. Soon. Fake out sellers could be faked out too, says Daily. Yeah, and that's where it comes now, the question of just taking a trade because you see it, just because you have your setup. And then it's also important to know, you know, the thing about it is like you got to know when not to trade as well. I think that's also part of trading. That's a thing that differentiates trading from gambling. Is knowing when not to trade. Oh, Justin, go onto the Discord. There's a area over here called useful information. Go onto the Discord over here. When you join the mentorship, make sure you go through all of these channels on Discord. Now the range is filled. Here's where we all hold our breath and pick up or down. Yeah, now it's like, man, if price is to move up, it's got a lot of heavy lifting over here. That's true. Now it's quite important. I might call it early today. I'll be back to work on Monday. Oh, you're back to work on Monday? What do you mean back to work? On the charts? All right, Ellie. Back to work on Monday. Let's get it. And trading is like work. I'm not going to lie. Trading is like work. But it's a good type of work. You know, you feel really good. Because it gives you a challenge every day. It's similar. You know, like some people, like they work at these jobs and they lose that challenge. They just need more of a challenge. Man, I think if you're that type of person, you're going to have always fresh challenges here. It's never going to get boring. And the environment's also going to be a bit different. So you get different maps. You get play different maps. And, you know, it's like playing a video game. You know, you're going to play video game and you get a new map. And it's so fun to play the new map. You know, like today we got a new map. This map, we can call it the terminal. We'll call this map the terminal. Because it's like, you know, it's like in a terminal over here. And it's a really nice map. You see how I swing like this? And then, you know, who knows the next map you're going to get. And then you're just going to play it. But there are those gamers who are really good at even playing new maps. They're going to start a new map and they're already good at playing the new map. You know those kind of gamers? They're like learning. They learn very quickly. So I think that's what you enjoy about trading. Because not every day is going to look like this straightforward. Other days a little bit more risky. Other days are going to test your psychology, whether you can take a counter trend against a bullish trend. Other days are going to have like small little variants in there that maybe you get like a doji candle that you don't know if it's bullish or bearish, but it's still kind of valid. You know, you're going to get a lot of situations like this. I'm about to full send my demo account on a sell. At least full send it if you break the lows here by 33.40. Don't full send it too soon. Why full send it here? Price is still moving up. This could actually be the move up. You know, you're going to full send this here, a resistance when it might be... Look, you might even get a Freaky Friday move right now. I would not be surprised to see maybe like people try to full send it here and then you see price just shoot up like this. Try and break above this zone. Because sometimes you just need that one person to move the market. Someone's just going to come here and say, let's just push this up. Boom. Worked so hard, forgot how to vacation. Will the weekly candle flip and break 33.65? 33.65? You need to at least create some structure here. You know, we gotta move up. The candle's gotta move up above this zone, 33.43, and create some breadcrumbs. So this will be the breadcrumb. And then price can say, okay, you know, we've been here before. We've been here before. This is like, you know, this is like if, I guess this is how there would be trekking Mount Everest. That would move one day like this. And then it creates like some breadcrumbs for the next people. Now, when they come back down, they're going to tell them, okay, you know, this is the route. This is the route. We have explored this route. This is what you got to do. And then, you know, then they're going to gear up and they're going to get ready. And they're going to move up like this. They're going to fill that range here on the left-hand side. And then they're going to even take it now further because that's the idea, right? They're going to take it further like this. So I think that's what you got to see over here. We got to have our initial explorers. These are the shoppers. These are the shoppers now. They're the ones who have to go into the darkness, into the dark forest over here, and then come back and tell you the direction. So you got to wait. You gotta wait for the shoppers to come back. Your journal including trade images? Yes. Click on the link. It's gonna take you to this Discord channel over here where you're gonna see the images. You're gonna see the before after pictures. I think it's nice. If you're confident, bro, buy limit above, sell stop below it, and pray. Yeah, man. I don't think so. There's a possibility of one more breakout. It's accumulating here a bit on the 1 minute. Looks like a little fakey as it just moved above. See this little area over here started to create like a double resistance. It might start breaking below that 5 minute area. Let's get through that, at least that SMA. See, it's struggling. It's looking on the left hand side here. You see what price is doing? It's looking on the left hand side here and it feels a resistance. It's like it's something it's feeling over here by 33.43. It's like, what is this? What is this resistance? Can we get through it? You know, it has to move with caution. Because as it's coming up towards resistance, it's going to like test it a bit. It's got to move with caution and see, okay, can we actually do this? And then it's going to try and move up again. But if it can't, then, you know, have a retracement here from this previous move. Once it breaks below support, maybe rather. There's no praying and trading. Execute and pray. The pray strategy. And pray strategy never works. Amount of times that I tried prey strategy, it never worked. I would always take like these really risky trades. Like I would be down for the day and I would take like a riskier trade. Let's say I was risking about like 2%, and then all of a sudden I'm down for the day, maybe like 2%, and then I want to take a riskier trade where I risk like 3%. You know, and then that trade starts going into drawdown, and then you start the prey strategy. You start saying, oh, I'm never going to do this again. Please let this work out for me just this one time, God. And, you know, I'm not going to do it again. But the problem is you're going to do it again. It's like rewarding a bad habit when you survive these risky trades. Always think about it that way. You're rewarding a bad habit. So the probability that you do it again, it increases. That you're going to do that dumb shit again. Because you got rewarded for it. Oh, Vic, what movie you got lined up for the weekend? That's a good question, man. I think there's this movie somebody shared here in the Discord. It's called what's it called? Ballerina. And it has John Wick inside of it. Keanu Reeves. So, wow, this thing got a 9.3. Yeah, I think this is gonna be on the lineup. Oh, it's got the guy from Walking Dead in here as well. This is also the character from that video game, Death Stranding. I've never played Death Stranding, but the graphics look awesome. I think I'm going to play the second one. The second Death Stranding looks really good. It's very artistic. So it's got this guy from Walking Dead. It's got Keanu Reeves over here, Mr. John Wick. And I forgot this actor's name. This one here in the middle. Yeah, so I think that's it. This one, I tried to watch this one, but it's a bit childish. Karate Kid. Why does this also have a 9.1, man? I think these are... Yeah, these are not the right ratings. It can't have a 9.3. That's only 100 votes. Mr. Miyagi. Wax on, wax off. Formula 1 is out, though. Maybe Formula 1 is going to be a good watch. But I got to go to the cinema for that one. Yeah, I just watched Ballerina yesterday. Proper movie. Oh, no. I know what's on the lineup, actually. This is what's on the lineup. First of all, this is a movie that I watched yesterday, but this is just my own kind of interest. I like this kind of like this type of like horror movies, you know, this type of camping horror movies. So there's this kid from, I actually like this actor. He's a pretty good actor. And I think this guy's acting career is gonna mature quite nicely in Hollywood because he produced this movie. He's gone from that Stranger Kids actor, so his career is actually going nicely. Now he produced a movie. He looks like he has an old soul, kind of, this guy. So I watched his movie, Hell of a Summer. It's also like kind of like these kind of like horror-ish type of games and movies. And actually turned out to be pretty decent. It was pretty nice. The directing, the way he directed it was kind of interesting. It was nice. So that's why I watched yesterday. Surprisingly good movie. But the one I want to watch is Walk the Line by Joaquin Phoenix. It's about Johnny Cash. So I didn't know this. I didn't know Joaquin Phoenix played Johnny Cash. Bruh, this should be a really good movie. It's an old movie. It's from 2005, but this is what's really on the lineup, man. Like Joaquin Phoenix, awesome actor. And you know the reason? It's funny because the guy who acted in Hell of a Summer, the camp leader, this guy kind of gives Joaquin Phoenix vibes. Like they both have this type of like ashy voice thing going for them. So he kind of made me want to look more into movies that this guy did, Joaquin Phoenix, that I hadn't watched. So yeah, this is on the lineup here. Should be pretty good. Walk the Line. Gotta warm myself up to Ballerina though, because I know that's gonna be pure action. Need a little bit of a story. But, you know, like price is coming down here. I think it looks pretty good now. I think it makes sense for price to come down. If it struggled above resistance by 33.43, yeah, I think it looks good to come down then. Price must just behave itself, you know? When price behaves itself, it's so beautiful. Such an amazing relationship you're gonna have with the market when it's just behaving itself, you know? I feel like GJ is that friend who never has money and who always asks you for money. You know, but when you hang out with him, you're gonna have a good time. I think that's what the relationship with GJ is like. With gold, man, gold is that rich friend who always has money. At least most of the time. Is that rich friend who usually always has money, but when he doesn't have money, man, he really doesn't have money. He's broker than the rest of you, than the rest of everybody else. Y'all ever have friends like that growing up? Like really rich friends. When they had money, man, they had money. They balled out. But when they didn't have money, they had like literally zero. That's what Goldie's like. Is it time to short silver? No idea. I don't trade silver. Why trade silver when you can see gold is moving so beautifully? Holding a low lot, 41.5 still. Always remember CPI February 2024, the move that started it all, back when gold traded under $2,000. February 2024. Let's see, February 2024. Oh, yeah, this was, I remember this time. This was a very nice time. This was a very nice time. This was the last trade that you know, in this whole area, this was the last short that I called. And I think we did, it was a weekly breakdown that we did. And the analysis looked, oh, I don't even have those same tools anymore. But the analysis was for price to come down to fill this range. And that was the last HTF analysis that I did on gold. Because from that point onwards, man, price just kept moving up. That was a bullish rally. You know, this was the all-time highs almost every day here. Price just kept moving up. Now we're back in this consolidation. So yeah, this was back in 2024 over here. Feels like ages ago. You know, 2025 is already coming to a close. Time moves so fast. Especially in the market, you know. Because our job is just to wait. Bang bang trades 33, 35. Oh, nice. Yeah, I think this was really good. Like, if you all manage to catch a little scalp over here, I think, you know, pretty good. That's 35 pips that it just pushed down. But if you're still waiting for signals and someone to hold your hand, then I don't think that's very good. 50% stops to break even now and took partials. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, like, that's the only way you build confidence, really, is when you understand what you're doing, correct? And then you take that risk and you say, okay, you know what? This is something that I'm comfortable taking this setup here. Because you've seen it play out before. It's literally the same thing that's been happening all morning. Push up here, sell here. It's just swinging. That's why I said, like, just trade what you see. Don't trade what you feel. I should be moving down. I should be moving down. Dun, 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 dun. I caught that move by sheer dumb luck and been hooked on trying to trade ever since. Oh. On trying to... You caught this... How long did you catch that move for? Where did you hold it till? Yeah, this was... Oh, wait, but this was December 2024. Sorry, my bad. I didn't go... You said February. You said February, man. This is... What the hell? February all the way here. Oh. Yeah, this is kind of confused me a little bit. Wait, let me see that. December 2024. I think I confused this price action. This dip here, there's a dip that we called out. I think this was, let's see, February. Yeah, man, this is just a little bit confusing. Holy. No, I think I lost it. I lost it. Where we did that last analysis before the move up. But it looked something like this. Like price had come down first and then started to move up bullish. It looked a lot more like this though. Yeah, but nice. You said February 2024? Sheesh. This is May 2024. It's like, you see what happened here in May 2024 is the same thing that we're dealing with on gold. Holy man. And look at the size of this accumulation here. That held for quite a long time before it started breaking above. Even after we had a bullish rally. Look at this. We got the bull run. There's accumulation here. And then we got the breakout, the bull run. Small accumulation here. Right in the middle. Is this? And then it broke out. We got a bull run. And it's like literally the same thing over and over again. Accumulation, broke out, bull run, and kept just moving up. Now the accumulation here, broke out, bull run. Small one here with a little bit of manipulation to the downside, pulled back upwards, bull run, and look at where we are now. So you see the story unfold. You see the story unfold. You see where price is heading to on the HDF. We're just taking a small little break right now. But yeah, guys, the thing is pretty nice here. Man, for Freaky Friday, surprisingly, Friday has been the cleanest day. Look at this. Another move over here. Price is coming down towards support. Yeah, I think this would have been a nice day to overtrade. Got a one win here, another win here, another win here. And also because the swings are pretty nice. They're pretty big. The ranges are huge. Another one here. Awesome. What would I say about Dow Jones? Let's see. Dow Jones? I don't know. I don't trade Dow Jones, but the US dollar is performing quite well. It's really bullish right now. But gold is ranging. GJ is really weak. Pound is like kind of weak over here. Yeah, as we just wait for that weekly close. They have nice stops on them. I took a swing entry. Nice one, Vikrant. Very nice. But it's true. Catching moves by sheer luck feels a lot better than disciplined ones, right? Sometimes when I take these disciplined trades, they don't feel as good as the ones where I get lucky. That's right, bro. I think I got it around $2,000. Took it at 1990-ish. I still kick myself that I didn't immediately start slamming buys. Though in hindsight, it's a beautiful thing. Yeah, man. And it's like, you're not going to miss the opportunity again because it's doing the same thing here. Because we're talking about 3330 right here right now, but towards like this same time next year, maybe we're going to be talking about like in the 4,000s region over here. And that's the whole thing about trading, right? It's like, you know where the market is going. Look at this. What's the probability that price just starts to move down? If you see this line and see it's predominantly bullish. It's like the stock market. So this time next year, we're going to be having the same conversation. And someone is going to say that maybe they got into buys over here while price is accumulating. But we're probably going to be at like 4,000 or maybe like even 5,000, you know. Trading can be very elusive. Like, I've seen people all the time say things like, oh man, I missed that move. Oh man, you know, I missed this move. Like, and it's sometimes they miss it because it's a lack of execution that they're missing it. So for them, they trick their mind to thinking that they missed the move. But the truth is they were just scared to take the move. I've seen that psychology before. The truth, like, they could be on the chart. It could happen, like, things could be in line, but they hesitate, they don't execute. But they have that comfort food, you know? Comfort food is, oh, I missed the move. Truth is, you didn't execute. You didn't execute on the move. So yeah, you did miss the move, but not in the sense that you would have caught the move, because you didn't catch the move because you didn't execute. So it's like a you know, our brain is quite an amazing thing. It's like, you know, when people have nostalgia about the past, let's say if you drink like a Monster energy drink, and that gives you good memories of like some time in childhood because you used to drink a lot of good Monster energy drinks, so you feel a bit nostalgic. But the mind actually protects you from the negative, like, times maybe were not as good as you remember them to be, but your brain protects you from the negative times, and it just keeps the nostalgia. It remembers more of the good times. So people reminisce a lot about the past. They say, oh, you know, back in the days it used to be so nice in this. Yeah, it's like some psychology trick. I love psychology, man. I think trading is going to teach you so much psychology. It's going to unravel a lot of things about yourself that maybe you did not know. But if you're putting in the work that is 1% better every day, you're going to start to realize certain things. That's like a bit of conditioning, you know? You get a bit conditioned sometimes. And you're like, damn, I didn't think I could get conditioned. You know, it's like people who don't believe in hypnosis. You say, oh man, that stuff doesn't work. But then on your day-to-day basis, you kind of give yourself some hypnosis when you say things like, oh, I missed the move because you didn't execute. 2 swings today. Got out way too soon on both. Think I need to call it done for the day. Oh, nice. You got out way too soon. Why don't you do that thing of... I would love people who are trying to hold trades. At least try and hold 2 trades a week. Like, just pick one. Pick a certain market environment. Hey, Frankie, thanks for the €6. Let's go. Appreciate it, man. You know you're the only mod left on Discord. I removed all the other mods because they're no longer active. I think you're the only mod left on Discord. Not that it means too much, but you got the badge. You know, you got the badge because everything's automated here. But you still got the badge. Let's get it, Frankie. Appreciate it. Two nice breakouts at gold this hour. Not gonna lie, bro. I entered that, sells below, buys above. As soon as I saw red, I panicked, deleted the buy order. Rookie move. Next year, looking forward to it, bro. Yeah, I know. Next year we might be looking at 4K for sure. No, like, I think even by the end of this, towards the end of this year, because we're short of, like, we're shy of 3,500. We just need to re-break 3,500. That's it. Vic gotta go now. Need to do other thing else. All right, Derek, catch you later, man. Hey, what's up, Xauusd? I didn't even see you in the chat. Did you watch the new Superman movie? No, apparently it's getting some real debates on that new Superman movie because it was not directed by... What that guy's name? The guy who did the other Superman movies. So we got, like, one side of people, they really don't like the movie. The other side of people, they really like the movie because it's different. And you got the guys in the middle here who, because it was not directed by the OG Superman creator, that they're boycotting the movie. So they don't even want to watch the movie. But it's not like the director was asked to even make that movie. It's not like he necessarily even wanted to be the director of the new Superman movie. But because, you know, this guy has such a big fan base that people are boycotting that the new Superman movie came out without that guy. What's his name, man? I'm not such a Superman fan, but I like this actor. There's a guy from the Witcher series. I love The Witcher. This has been one of my favorite video games to play. But what's his name? Superman. Henry Cavill. Yeah, Henry Cavill. But you know, the thing about me is I know a lot of things, but I'm really bad at remembering like those key details. I'm really bad. Especially if it's not really something that helps me so much in my life. Like I have less effort in remembering the key details. So I asked me about football. You know, I barely know football players. I barely know about sports. Because like it just doesn't help me. I just, you know, I enjoy everything, but some people, man, they just get a really good memory of things. I don't. I just remember what helps me. But yeah, this is a W series. Some people didn't like it, but I'm looking forward to watching the new Superman. I think it should be fun. It's a bit weird though. Like Superman and his dog which flies, and you know, the CGI as well. They kind of messed up the CGI on some scenes. It's kind of funny. See, can we get it? Yeah, this was crazy. This Superman here, this guy had a beard for this Superman, but they had to CGI remove his mustache because he had his mustache on because he was shooting another movie. So you could also, like, the thing about these things in Marvel is people watch these movies. I don't even know how they pick these things up. It's like they're watching a movie frame by frame. You know, they're looking to see where they're messing up with something. Because when I watched this movie initially, I didn't even know his beard was CGI'd. But if you go on these fan websites, you're gonna see like they're always like doing details and breakdowns of frame by frame. I don't even know how they catch these things. But yeah, that's wild, chat. Imagine this. Freaking remove a whole mustache. They shot the movie with him with a mustache on. And then they're like, oh, you know, Superman doesn't have a mustache. So we gotta remove it. With CGI. I think they pick it up based on like his lip movements sometimes seem like a bit unnatural and that sort of thing. Yeah, who the heck is the Superman and why is he not Henry Cavill? I like that actor. Too. Take me to your Witcher. Oh, bad. Remember that song from The Witcher? Toss a coin to your Witcher. Oh, Valley of Plenty. This is like a Valley of Plenty here. See, gold is very giving today. It's tossing coins all around the place. You got a coin toss here, coin toss here, coin toss here, coin toss here. Man, if gold could always behave like this, it would be amazing. Now it's got like a small little range over here. Tiny little range. That's like about a 35 pips. Some people focus on movies. How we focus on trading? Yes. Some, you know, the thing is like, the thing with people is like people focus on their 9-to-5 jobs. They can follow rules when they're working a 9-to-5 job. But they find it so difficult to follow rules in trading. I find that funny. Like a 9-to-5 job, you're going to show up on time. You're going to do everything to the book. Your boss is going to tell you do it like this, this, and this, and you're going to do it. But when it comes to trading, it's like, man, I don't know what happens. It's like our primal instincts come out when it comes to trading. And we get like a bit of, behave like a bit like degenerates sometimes. But it's good to follow rules. Like the rules are there to protect you. Always remember that. Your trading rules are there to protect you. They're not there to hold you back. I think sometimes what people think is they think that trading is the rules is to hold you back, but it's there to protect you. There's a reason you have those rules. It's to keep you sane during the times that markets are not acting properly. I'm the opposite. I can focus on trading, but the job feels so tedious. Maybe because yeah, I don't know. I feel like for me when I used to work and trade, that was not a serious job. You know, it's not like I had put in many years in that company and I was actually thinking about staying in it. So my job was more of like tedious. I would like half-ass it basically. But I feel it's a bit different for people who've been working, maybe majority of people who've been working at corporate for some time and, you know, they're going to put more effort into their job. But when it comes to trading, that they're not going to put that same effort in to follow rules. It's because, you know, there's no accountability. You can do anything and nobody is going to hold you accountable. But, you know, if you mess up at work, then you got to answer to somebody. But in trading, you only answer to yourself. So you're the judge, jury, and executioner, you know? So you can do what you want to do, which is also not a good thing. It's not a good thing if you can't control it. So a person trying to trade on college could evade a 9-to-5 if they make it. What happened to gold today running very clean? It's because there's a lot of ranges for price to move in between. That's why. And like, whereas like GJ is consolidating quite heavily. You have a support, resistance, like it's not as clean. And you can see the structure is quite different. So let's say if you're doing like a challenge, yeah, would you rather prefer taking a trade on GJ or would you prefer to take a trade on gold? You see, it's like a massive difference. GJ is consolidating, barcoding, whereas look at this, look at the difference. Where would you have a better chance? This is like when you're walking through the casino and you're seeing, oh, this roulette table, it's hitting red and black in streaks. You got streak of red, you got streak of black, streak of red, streak of black. And then you go and see this other roulette table, it's like red, black, red, black, red, black, zero, red, black, red, black, red, black. You know what I mean? And you're going to say like, okay, so I think I'm going to go on this table because this table has like more predictability on this table. No. Good morning, Tetra. 3W for the day. Amazing stuff, Xauusd. How's the job treating you? I know you've been busy as well. Well, full margin, paying well, close all positions, left on try to learn to trail with it. Are you going on a motorcycle tour again? If the weather complies, take care, tall trader. Make sure you wear your helmet. Don't not wear a helmet. You saw what happened to Gordon Ramsay when he got into a cycling accident. I think Gordon likes to cycle a lot. Man, this guy's whole, what do you call this, rib section here was completely wrecked. You know, he got hit by something. And he really urges people to wear their helmet. Let me show you how fucking gruesome this looks. He says he doesn't care if you're just going down the street. Wear a helmet. I've never seen Gordon Ramsay that shook, man. You know Gordon Ramsay is the type of guy, falls off a bike, then he's gonna yell at the bike, call it a donkey or something. But man, this guy was like actually shaken up. Look at this gruesome accident over here. This is why I don't like two wheels. I really try to convince myself in getting that bike, but I'm definitely not gonna get it. Look at this. This guy looks like he was hit with a sledgehammer. The problem with these two wheels, you know. People don't understand when they're driving cars, they're driving a death machine. Oh man, look at his helmet. Totally wrecked over here. Make sure you take care. Take care. Stay safe. Helmet's completely wrecked here. Poor Gordon. But this happened, I think, about a year ago or something, you know? Crazy work ethic, though. I really like this guy's work ethic, how he actually started from the bottom, like really started from the bottom in such a difficult industry, performing at such a high level. Very motivational, this guy. You know, a lot of things in life you can achieve. You just have to be willing to do what the rest of the people are not. It's the hardest part. It gets easier every day, but doing it every day is the hard part. Oh, beautiful distribution. You can see price just completely nutted here now. It's corrected the move. Looks like that was a short-lived potential counter trend. It was just a follow through from this previous entry over there. Man, crazy. Let's freaking go, Goldie. Let's go, Freaky Friday. Another sell play out over here. Holy. It's so funny. I've been noticing these moves more towards like Wednesday toward the end of the week. Amazing moves. Oh, Monday and Tuesday a bit weird. If that's what a bicycle can do, think a motorcycle. Yes. You must stay safe. I wear full gear only if I ride. Your job is going very well, but hard to combine. So down like 10%, I think, these 3 months now. But I'm free to have to start later and end later of the day. So more time and focus for the pre-session. Awesome. Yeah, find just at least, you know, like even 1 hour. Even 1 hour can be good, you know, if you focus. Because what's been happening of late, for me at least, like I've only been on the chart, I think, for only an hour of late for this week. And I managed to catch a lot of nice moves. Like for my pre-London and also for the pre-New York time, I've only been on the charts for like about an hour. Tops. So just look at the market and see where the moves are happening, you know? But still trading every morning before the job. Nice. Yeah, I used to do that too. Comes to the question of trading with a 9 to 5. You can trade with a 9 to 5 easy. Most traders traded with a 9 to 5. Most successful traders are all traded with a 9 to 5. Most of them, I would say. Though, especially from a retail traders. They definitely at some point all had jobs and then made that transition. And that transition usually comes when you start to see a bit of consistency. I like to say is like the way I think about it is start paying smaller bills, you know, start paying like phone bills, cheeky takeouts, and then start to build your way up to the bigger bills, you know. And once you start paying your bigger bills and your paycheck, or you're earning more than your paycheck, then that's going to be a time for you to consider going full time. But just start with the smaller bills first, and then work your way up. My first ever thing was ice cream, you know. My first ever bill that with trading that I paid was with ice cream. And that was very real moment for me. You know, it's pretty nice. Go to the ATM, you withdraw that money and you said, you know, I took this out of the market. And you know, that makes it real. Whatever small amount that you withdraw, it makes it real. But when you keep it in the account, it's not real. It's like unrealized gains. You know, that's like unrealized gains. But my job is now 7 a.m. till 5 p.m. Very long days. There's all this time. Yeah, ice cream. It was pretty damn good ice cream. This was in the summertime in Germany. And I went to, what's that bank? Is it called Volksbank? It's like a pretty major bank. I'm not sure what it's called. I think it's called Volksbank. That withdraw that money and is the best ice cream ever. But I was still not profitable. That's the funny thing, you know. The next week again was back to the trenches, back to losing. Deutsche Bank. This other bank there starts with a V. Just ride on the defensive side and be extra safe in cities. Give it a push on the countryside where less stupid people are around. Yeah, makes sense. Hey Vic, this is the trade I was talking about. Oh, this is that 4-hour sell. What is this? Look at that thing. That's what Goldie is doing. I feel like Goldie's gearing up for the breakouts. Very, very soon. It's accumulating for quite some time. Varen Gold Bank? No, I think it was right what I said. Volksbank. What's your new strategy? I no longer see shotgun setup. Well, these moves are kind of like a shotgun setup anyway. You know, like if you think about a shotgun, this would be a shotgun move here. And then stop below this area. It's just you wouldn't be getting a tighter stop like before. Before you could get tighter stops on gold, but nowadays it's still a bit big. So that's basically a shotgun. That's what I took this morning, but based off an impulsive break. But that's a shotgun. This is a shotgun. This is also a shotgun here. Stops below that area. So it's the same thing. The swing entry models and the shotguns are kind of similar. What's up, MFX? Yeah, exactly. These are... It's a smaller banks. Exactly, tall trader. I have to write safe because I want to be with the community again soon. Yeah, make sure you take care. Don't floor it too much. Don't go all Bruce Wayne on us. Holy. I'm sure everybody trading Freaky Friday today, this is very obvious price action. Everybody's just looking at this accumulation over here. How can you trade this accumulation? And this is the reason why I love the 5-minute and the 1-minute time frames. Because someone asked me about these lower time frames, why I mainly just look at the 5 and the 1. This is the same exact reason. There's not enough detail on the higher time frames. Just like swings up, swing down, barcoding. I can ride my bike with no handlebars. No handlebars. I think price to move based on what I see need to consolidation on top or button to move out from it, because move is just so clean up or down. RSI is always oversold or overbought. Yes. Yeah, that definitely could be the case here. RSI oversold, overbought, beautiful range, lining up with price action. Heck, maybe you even get a divergence over here. Then the RSI overbought, we get RSI divergence, and then sell confirmation. Are you using divergence in there as well, or it's just the RSI? Today RSI 1 minute went to 95. I mean, divergence actually works kind of nice. I used to use a lot of divergence back in the days. But what the problem was, why I stopped using is because I was focusing too much on an indicator. Not looking enough at the candlesticks. You bought at the bottom trying to play the range BE now? You have a divergence on just as a reference. Nice. Yeah, I mean, if this is why I said, like, this is the map, correct? This is the map. This is the new map for the day. This is terminal. This is terminal. So you see, that's why you're gonna have some players which are already really good at some certain maps in video games, because they kind of already understand it. You know, like, think a professional gamer, they'll understand the map. Even as a loading screen is loading, subconsciously, based on the experience, they're gonna say, oh, this is a map which is open space. You know, this is not a map where I'm getting those crazy kill streaks, because maybe I like this tighter, smaller maps where it's like, oh, I can get very nice kill streaks on, I can move more aggressively and that sort of thing. I can use a small little weapon that I love and it's going to perform beautifully here. And that's the thing. Like, now imagine trading is like a game of life. And, you know, in video games, you got to play the same map. Maybe it comes in again. But in trading, let's say if this was the map, you have to quickly recognize what you're playing, because opportunity is going to die. Like, the game is basically ending here. The game is basically ending because, you know, it's been playing for quite some time. So it's about to move over to the next map very soon. I don't think gold is just going to keep giving these really nice opportunities. But it's only after, towards the end of the game, is usually when most gamers have caught up to what's going on. But by that point, it's a bit too late. Animate. In it. It would have won, but I feel happy with my choice. Yeah, me too. Man, I just paper traded this. I've been paper trading. This was my first trade, and then I've just been paper trading these. So, you know, it's fine. I'm kind of like spectating here. Divergency works. I use like support, and support is formed below. Oh, the last low. Say it's RSI 5 negative 10 points. Is that a signal? Now we get 1 minute consolidation, and we have a blast off. Just got the dip. I think the real move will come to the upside in the NY session. Man, chat, I cannot wait for GTA. I cannot wait for GTA, guys. And for the gamers in the chat, where we can like chill on GTA, and then we can hang out on there. We can talk charts on there. I think it's gonna be really fun. We gotta start a new. I hope it has online multiplayer where we can create those gangs. You know, create a gang and we can start a gang. Liaise, see who we bump into. It's gonna be awesome. But I think like when GTA comes out, online's not gonna come out with it. It's probably first gonna be the story-based game, then the online usually rolls out later. Kind of like Red Dead Redemption. Online came later on. It's gonna be sick. It's gonna be real sick. I think we can trade in that game as well. Man, if we can trade in that game, holy. Imagine they have a feature in the game where we can actually look at markets. Like we can trade on GTA the same chart. Like why would that not be possible? Like a real feed of like some kind of trading view. Oh man, that would be sick. That would be so sick. That's gonna be the money glitch right there. Because they're trying to implement more real life things in that GTA. Also like studio, making beats in the studio and that sort of thing. You gotta make it more realistic. PUBG new update, that's not interesting, got me off. PUBG. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. I can't play competitive games, man. Like it's just like people are too good. It's too good. It's not even fun playing competitive games. Because you got these kids who do nothing but play video games all day. Never played GTA. Does the new one people can use real money to buy stuff from each other? Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure, but you could always buy stuff in-game. But I've never heard of people buying stuff from each other unless like you're just private messaging them and saying, hey man, you know, maybe I can send you some crypto and you can give me this thing. But I think in the new GTA they're gonna make it maybe a bit more seamless, that you don't have to do it privately. But it's like a place where I'm sure people have used GTA in the past to buy certain things from other people as well. Kind of like how, you know, that Bloomberg terminal works. It also allows you to buy certain cars and stuff from other traders. Let me see if I can find it here on Google. Bloomberg terminal. As long as you can communicate with somebody else, then you can always buy. I think it was a Bloomberg terminal. I saw it one time where you could actually like buy stuff from other people. It's kind of like, you know how these corporations like NGOs have their own private groups, and you can buy, let's say, secondhand cars from somebody else who works at an organization like an NGO. It's like a private group. Anyway. Did you take a trade yet? Yes. I've already taken a trade. Down. I feel like the market is coming down again now because yeah, it's coming down again because it's had so many moves already. It might slow down. What time is it? 5 p. Alright, so I got 5 a.m. See what the Owlie here is doing. I mean, it eventually needs to break. But right now, definitely, if you're trading what you see and not what you feel, then it makes sense again for price to move up. It's got to move up again. But eventually, it's got to move from this area. We have to break out of this zone. But right now, yes, give me some pretty easy setups there. And it's funny why it's consolidating, because we don't even have like fundamentals to wait out for today. I'm going to Forex Factory. All you got is GDP. which is already passed. That's for the pound. So there's nothing. But it's consolidating like it's waiting for something. It's this weekly time frame here, guys. Look at it. It's just very undecisive. Could easily close bullish or bearish. SMA are crossing up on the 4 hours, so it's just waiting for the SMA from the HDF. Oh, seeing this happening. Let's see, 4 hour. Oh, yes. Yeah, it's true. Sometimes it's just waiting for these SMAs to catch up. Could be the 4 hour SMAs. Very tricky situation. Like, man, if this moves up again, that's just gonna be hilarious. So many opportunities. Paper trade is... But this is where people usually are burnt out by the end of the week, so... I guess they can afford to make more positive trades. Paper trade is considered a trade? No. It's not considered a trade. But I've already taken a trade today. See what the 1 minute is doing. Paper trade is more like live backtesting. Yes. Guys, see that previous paper trading competition? I think what was the first place got was it 8,000? The leap results. Yeah, paper trading can be a real skill that you can get paid for paper trading if you're good at it. First place here got $8,500. Second place got 7,000, 6,000, third, fourth, 5,000. I think there's a prize pool of, what did they say, 50 grand? $50,000 prize pool. So don't knock the paper trades. Don't think paper trading is not a skill. You get paid for paper trading. Heck, you could make more money than you are already making money if you're good at paper trading. It's just the thing is most people don't paper trade and they don't backtest. They only do live trading. Do I know TGR? Yes, I know TGR. TGR trading? I know TGR. TGR. I saw that one meme of him when he was like, TGR, give me a signal, TGR. Yeah, he's a funny guy. Prop firms, is paper trading too really? Yes. Give me a signal, TGR. Yeah, prop firm is all demo. You know, they take no risk. What's going on with prop firms of late? I'm seeing there's something up with Top Step. What is Top Step anyway? Let's see. Top Step. Elevate your futures trading journey. Is Top Step a broker or is it a funding program? Oh, basically both. I guess funding are also brokers. Have their own brokerages. Alright, like there's a lot of like things going on here with Top Step. They're suing people who they're affiliated with. I don't know what's going on with their spreads, their slippages, not paying people out. Crazy. Become a futures trader. Top sell traders develop stronger skills, healthier habits, and have unmatched trading community. But you know, like I focus on myself so much, I don't even know most of these things. I don't know most of all of these things, like Top Step and these other stuff. Man, all I know is my seed trader and gold spot, and that's all that I do. But I've heard there's a few things going on there with Top Step. Is that Q Bank's firm? I don't think so. They're suing this guy for like, so there's a guy there, I'm not going to mention his name, but man, he's getting sued for a few $1 million for defamation or like, you know, disclosing private contract agreements. That's wild. That's wild. Man, like imagine affiliating with a company like this and then they end up suing you for millions of dollars. That's crazy. That's crazy. For me, I've always liked to own my things. You know, that's why I don't even have affiliates. Because I love to own everything that I do. I own everything. My trading account is my account. My money is my money. My businesses are my businesses. I can't affiliate with people like this. Man, that's crazy. Such a dirty industry sometimes, you know? But at the same time, I guess you just gotta follow those rules. But you never know. You never know. I'm with Top Step. What's going on? Some people got affected, but some other people didn't get affected. There were some kind of slippages which were going on. Some people were not able to access their trades or something like that. So a lot of people lost money recently. Some people got affected, others didn't. Kick the long. Nice. Yeah, TFX, that's healthy not to trust the props. It's like a very greedy environment, you know. Those prop firms are, it's like becoming cutthroat, very cutthroat industry, that is. That's why you never see me doing giveaways on this channel, you know. This channel already is a giveaway. Like if I start giving away prop firms and all of these things, it's like, I know it's not real. I know it's not real because trust me, if you have the skill, you are not going to have funding. Funding will not be the problem. Like there's no trader here who is profitable saying, oh man, only if I had access to this account, I could make money. Like that's just like the probability of that is so low. If you already have a skill, you're going to get funded. You're going to have access to these things. They're very affordable nowadays. You can work your way up. Like, that's what I think. That's what I believe. There's no way you're sitting on a skill which can make you millions of dollars and your excuse is I don't have $200 or I don't have $100 to buy a funding account. Like that's just not realistic. That happened briefly yesterday for a few minutes where I couldn't close out on trade vote. Oh, but I haven't had any issues with Top Step. The last issue I had with my broker was in 2020 when I first started trading. Like there's this one time that I couldn't close my trade. That was a scary experience. You know, I had a position on and no matter what I did, I couldn't close it. You know, I couldn't close it for some time. I was on my phone, I was on the computer and it just would not close. And this was on a live account. It was crazy. But ever since then, like it's never happened again. I think that was a very unique situation that happened. Man, usually they say when that happens to you, you must just record and take screenshots of everything and you're going to get a better chance to get your money back because they're going to ask you to prove it. And if you have no proof, then they're not going to help you. Because as I mentioned, also with the Top Step thing, like it happened to some people and it also didn't happen to other people. So they're going to ask you to prove it. But I didn't know, man. At that time, I was panicking. I was like, fuck, what's going on here? I was seeing drawdown and now I was seeing blues and I was seeing drawdown. But eventually it started working again. It was off for like quite some time, but it came back around. Happened to me last month. Took a big L because of it. Yeah, I think that time it took like what, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that. It took a really long time. Good thing the market was not moving. Your brokers don't know when the market is going to move. You know, otherwise I could time it a lot better. Or otherwise, if maybe, let's say price is really moving, then they could time it like that. But I think most of the time they're not doing such things, especially when you're dealing with a regular broker. It's just an accident. So I think that was just an accident. But the good thing, the market was not going anywhere. The prop firm conditions are tough though. What would you risk per trade, Vic, if you look at a challenge? Also, would you buy one, let's say 100K challenge for, or 250K ones? Just so you have two chances. Yeah, I think you're just going to get what you can afford really. Like if you're confident in yourself and you can afford the 250, why not go with the 250? You know? Yeah, the conditions are definitely different. They're not like they're not super favorable. That's why you kind of use it to build your personal account. You never trade on it for the long term. It's good to build your personal account, work on your runners and that sort of thing. That's what I would do with challenges. I would trade more runners and more clean opportunities like this. Because I know like small percentage gains on those bigger accounts can compound beautifully into a personal account. So that's been my approach. More runners, cleaner setups, tighter risk, like tight stop losses, and bigger moves. So if I lose, I lose quite little. If I win a lot. But that type of trading is very different from my day-to-day trading. As you guys see, my day-to-day trading is I prefer to increase the risk and then just scalp the market. Like you see this move over here. If you watch the reel on my channel and how I call this move up towards like 33.40, you gotta ask, Vic, why didn't you hold till 33.40? You know, it's the same thing I spoke about in yesterday's video. If you go on my channel and you watch that video, it's literally the same thing. It's just because I am increasing my risk, my percentage risk, so I can get gains, percentage gains. So I don't care so much about the risk to reward. I care more about the percent. So like a move like this, maybe this looks like a 1-to-1. But it's like 2%. But on average, on average, I'd say my risk reward is about this 1 to, it's basically like 1-to-1 on average. But look at my percentage gains for the month here. 23%. Because at the end of the month, that's what you're trying to get, right? You're trying to get percent. This doesn't say July gains 1 to 23. It just says 23%. Not risk to reward. Also, when we talk about stuff like gold, gold for the year, I think it's up 26%. We're talking about the risk to reward. Because the market doesn't know risk to reward. That's just like what we give ourselves. It's a unit of measurement just to say, okay, I'm risking this much to potentially make this much. It's just a unit of measurement. It's not a strategy on its own. And it's really nice because if you start a trade with, let's say, a 1-to-1 like this, and price creates structure, that becomes variable. This changes. So you could even reduce it to a potential 1-to-3 risk to reward. So this can be quite subjective. The market doesn't know this. It only knows structure. It knows that there's support here. It knows there's a resistance here. Maybe if we break resistance, it knows that, hey, maybe I can move up towards this next resistance by 33.39. I think that's a pretty nice way of looking at markets. And it focuses more on the risk than the reward. The thing is, people lie to themselves that they're focusing on risk when they look at risk to reward. What they're really focusing on, they're just lying, is the reward. Deep down inside, you're focusing on the reward. You're not focusing on the risk. The risk is just a comfort food. You're gonna say, okay, so if I have a 1-to-2, I can win 50% of the time. So I'm managing my risk. But you know very damn well you're looking at the reward. You want those wins. Those wins are what matter the most. But when you take it from like a percentage perspective, it kind of makes you more objective. You look at the market from a very objective standpoint, and you start to see that risk to reward can be a bit subjective. As your trade is progressing, that could be reduced. And also, each trade is different. Maybe some trades you risk less percentage. You keep your gains. Like you see, I've been up on this trade already this morning, 2%. The next trade, instead of risking the risk to reward, I can risk instead of 1% or my usual 1 to 1.5%, I can take even a smaller risk. and say, okay, so I'm going to risk 0.5%. That's what I'm going to be looking to make, around 0.5, maybe 1%, if I decide to leave it to be a runner. But I'm focusing on the percent and the risk and protecting what I've already made. Hypothetically, if it was selling gold and it went to 0, would you still get the money? If I was selling gold and it went to 0, yes. Yeah, I think so. I think you would. There's a lot of people who made money on oil during the COVID drop. Oil went down to 0, like it went to negative. And people apparently were able to make some money from that move. They bought oil at negative. I'm happy I'm getting better at trading, but I need to get better at losing to become an exceptional trader. I need to stop setting psychological SLs. Yes. Yeah, you need to break boundaries. Certain boundaries that you're going to have on yourself that you need to sort of like change the way you look at markets sometimes. You know, the way I think about it, in year 1 is your losing year. Year 2 is your break-even year. And year 3 is your profitable year. This is just generally speaking, like the safest and general way that I could make it. Year 1, you're going to lose. Year 2, you're going to be break-even. Year 3, you're going to win. Because you're figuring things out, year 1. Year 2, you're kind of like implementing a lot of the things that you've seen, the trials and errors, and focusing more on those that are working and not those that are losing. Because if you focus more on what's losing in the market always gives you a reason for why you should take a loss. So there's always going to be a reason how you can become perfect, but there's no perfection. There's always going to be a counter trade that also sounds good. So you're going to focus more on why you're winning your trades. You're going to start replicating this, break out the break even. 3rd year, profitability. Generally speaking. Because I think not a lot of people find consistency within a year's time, realistically. How are you so cool risking 1% on your setup, Vic? You have 0 motion. Does it come from backtesting? Yes. Yeah, exactly. And also, you know, 1% is not a lot. It's not a lot. So you're not emotionally attached to the trade as if you're risking, like, let's say 5%. So it's much easier to be more calm and accepting of the outcome of the trade when you're keeping your risk down. But obviously, like, comes from backtesting, because like whatever you do when you're backtesting, it should be able to do it when you're foretesting. Because when you're backtesting price action that's happened in the past. So if you're getting a profitable backtesting, you should be getting a profitable foretesting. Correct? Because if you have a concept, whatever the concept is, you know, we backtest the swing entry models. It's the same thing here on the foretesting as well. The only difference with backtesting, you're a lot more patient with backtesting because you can skip through the candles a lot faster. You know, you don't have to deal with the psychology of waiting for price and seeing price and the blues. You can just do this and say, okay, swing entry here, I'm going to hold. Swing entry here, I'm going to hold. You know, it's much easier to do that. I think that's the only difference when it comes to psychology. And also, if you take a loss, let's say if I'm backtesting this, and then I say, okay, I want to take a buy here, put my stop loss here, and maybe like take my profit here. It's much easier for us to go through this like quickly right now and then see what the outcome is and then quickly move on to the next thing. Problem is, what happens in real life is you take a trade like this, let's say it's a losing trade, and then you start tilting and you start thinking unclearly and you start rushing trade setups because you can't skip the next candle, right? So you got to wait. You got to keep waiting and waiting and waiting. And that waiting part, man, that's the hardest part for most people. Most people cannot wait. Actually, if you're good at sitting on your hands, man, I think that's gonna be the best. If you can sit on your hands. You gotta take your hands like this and say, I'm gonna sit on them. Boom. Yeah, buy that sheet, man. Mr. Rashid, buy the sheet. The thing should be moving up here to 33.40 now. Last week, I was risking 5%. I made 33%, but was scary AF. I've gotten down to 2%. That is much more gentle on my emotions. Yes, exactly. You know, they say risk management is discretionary, you know. It's discretionary. If I take a trade like this and I'm risking, let's say 0.5%, I would feel more willing to hold this position. Whereas 5%, of course, I'm going to secure earlier. So risk is a very is a very discretionary thing. Some people, depending on what they're trying to do, they're holding runners. Some people, if they're just trading normally, they're securing more profits. You see, it's very discretionary. So when you see me secure my profits, you know, you gotta do it the way that suits you and the way that you're looking at getting from the market. So for me, I think I just got to end the week with at least 5%. That's my target. 5% per week. Doesn't matter how I get it. Like if I'm holding or scalping, I need to at least try and get 5% a week. But for the most part, I do like to scalp. In and out, in and out, in and out. So I can achieve that target. Buys paying off? Yeah, I think buy should move up. Man, it's incredible how the market's paying people here today. It's insane. This is like that beautiful roulette table that now everybody is winning on this table. Look at this. Price is now going up to 33.40. Did you buy that sheet? Mr. Rashid, did you buy this sheet? You're up your 20 pips. I had to sell 43 TP. I was not scared, but I thought 65% of the range was filled, so I took the money. Nice. Yeah, man, this is crazy. This is honestly insane. That the market, there's no shark today. I feel like the shark has gone on holiday with everybody else. It's gone to the actual beaches now. It's like, oh, you guys think you're gonna escape me? You're gonna escape the market? You think you're gonna go on holiday? Now it left the market and it went to the actual beaches where the lemmings are in real life. That's why you got low views on stream today. Everybody is at the beach. So there's no liquidity in the market. So it said today I'm gonna pay people out. That's the thing. If we didn't have that one variable, chat, like trust me, trading would be so easy. It would literally be a completely mindless thing. If it wasn't just for that one variable, which is the same thing that casinos use. You know, casinos have that little trick. There's a little trick in there which makes it kind of difficult to be profitable. In the market, that's what I call the shark. Sometimes the shark's around, sometimes it's not around. Today seems like it's not around. At least so far. Yeah, then we'd all be rich. It's Freaky Friday. Then we will all be millionaires. This is some really nice art. This looks like a portal. Like if you jump in here, then you're gonna come out here. Doctor Strange style. Oh, wow. Amazing, man. You caught this move. Beautiful. Top of the range, RSI crossover, SMA confluence, lower lows broken, divergence on RSI and line chart. Two partials at 65% and hit TP seconds later. Man, this is an awesome move. It didn't even come to retest your... Well, I think like if you're putting a physical stop loss, sometimes the spread... I think like this is still far away, but yeah, sometimes like you can have bigger spreads. But that would be the only thing. But it was not so bad of a retracement as well. It could have come in even deeper and then come down. So I think that was a really nice move. Didn't really retest that area too. Down strong. Oh, we're using 4 lots. Nice. $4 lots. Tight stops, just shooting off some ammo. 6 to 8. M5 candles done. Bayo sale. Hey, what's up, Joshua? It took me 10 years, but I'm now okay sitting on my hands. Adnan, you've been trading for 10 years? That's crazy. Because that actually, that's a long time. That's wild, sir. Man, your character must be developed like very stoic by this point, I would say. You have to be very stoic. 10 years of trading removes the emotions out of you. That's always I'm not gonna lie, I always get emotional. Whenever it's a winning trade, I feel really good. I still feel really good. Because it's a risk, you know, when we take a risk in the market, it's still a risk. That's why I like to think of trading like that. What's that word people say? Preferable. Perubial. Y'all know that word? That perubial thing of... Anyway, so like, imagine it's a shark full of oceans, right? And every day you gotta jump in and you gotta swim out. That's why I like to look at trading. So when you survive this, you're obviously gonna feel a certain way. Because that's a real risk, you know, it's a real risk that you take when you get into the market. I think for some people, they've over gamified trading so much that they're trading too small of an account to realize the kind of risk that they're taking. Because when you times 10 what you're risking now, you're gonna see a psychology is gonna be very different. What do I think about Bitcoin? I think Bitcoin should start moving up, but you know, it needs fundamentals to push it up as always. So you must just keep tabs of fundamentals. But let me... Oh, Bitcoin's already moving. We're at 119k. Damn. Yeah, I figured like it should just keep moving up. We got our targets here by 130. 130 on Bitcoin. So yeah, then we got 150. It looks like we got a kiss of death in here too. Man, looks... This would have been the entry here by 89k. That's when we saw price was breaking some kind of structure, and this was going to become a fake out. So you see how price consolidated here, broke below. This is a fake out confluence. This is like, it's basically the similar thing that I talk about a fake outs as confluence for your trades. So again, it goes back to my old video. Here for how I use the fake out as well. You know, it's a really nice confluence that I always look out for. I want to see like where's price breaking. You see this? Look, notice this. How price broke below support. I want to see like where's price breaking, what key level is it breaking. I see on stream it's like it's hard to see this, but yeah, it's basically the same idea. Where's price breaking? What kind of structures are forming and what kind of entries can I get, you know, and then I could use this as a fake out confluence, whatever's happening at the lows. So it's literally the same thing, and that's why I marked it out here. But this is on the weekly time frame. So mind you, this on a weekly time frame, but price is still behaving the same way. It's still behaving the same way. Consolidation and break below. See it's struggling over here. Some few rejection wicks. So where would your entries be? Break of the highs of the structure, stop loss within that area. I think on a higher time frame hold, that would make the most sense for a trade opportunity. Make sense? TFX concepts. I think it's very simple. Very simple. There's not a lot of analysis here, but you're just looking at the way the candlesticks are behaving. So yeah, I guess that makes sense. Because if price was going to move down, why would it be breaking above 89k? Think about it. Why would it break above 89k? Especially after it's already retraced. like this, retrace, and then start pushing down, creating new lower lows. Why would it come back up to re-break these highs? Doesn't make sense unless it's a fake out. So that's what I've been thinking like for Bitcoin since this level here. My initial entries were here, and then I said, okay, stop loss below here, but this would be a safer area, and then try and get in again later, you know, because we could have moved from this was accumulation. Like price could have just continued moving up here, but it didn't. It came down. So just take the loss and then wait for a new setup to form, for the market to tell you again that it wants to keep moving up, and then just give it another shot. Maybe this time put a bit of a fatter stop loss since you're much closer to the lows. Yeah, I think that's pretty nice. There she goes. I didn't take it. Consolidation on 1 minute starting to look nice. Was that consolidation break? Yeah, we did get a consolidation break. Small little consolidation breakout. It's kind of calm now again, huh? It's slowing down a bit more. Yo, bro, I'm new here. What are those percentage lines? 65%. Hello, Anthony. Anthony, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the channel. Oh, so YouTube is not completely shadow banning me. That's nice. That's nice to know. Because, you know, ever since I deleted my YouTube channel, my YouTube videos, guys, like I've literally, what basically is going on with my channel right now is YouTube thinks it's a new channel, I think. So all that momentum, we've lost the momentum. We need to get the momentum back. So yeah, Anthony, it's quite nice that you found the channel. It's probably been thrown somewhere in the algorithm there, like somewhere towards the bottom now. But it's pretty good community here. I feel like YouTube has been doing a lot of changes with their policies of late. You can see it with also with the I've noticed a lot more videos have disclaimers now, and as well as the AI video has been taken out. So no more AI videos being monetized. More videos are gonna have disclaimers on them in the future, and now already. So definitely going through some changes here midway through the year. Yeah, these little levels over here are basically the ranges. So when we're looking at these ranges to get filled out, we don't want to be too greedy, right? So we want to see where can we potentially manage risk. So this is the buy that I took this morning. Over here, as price was breaking above, and that 65% is usually when most of the range is already filled up. So you see, once it hits 65%, you would not want that to come back down into your entries, because majority of this range on the left hand side, that's already been filled up. Correct. Now you hit the resistance. That was a full target. So that's how we basically use it. It's the same thing here. Okay, this was for the sell. This was for the sell here. It's kind of, the chart's looking a bit messy now. There's a lot of these things here that make it maybe a bit confusing. Like you see this move currently that's in play. This has not yet hit 65%. So there's still room for price to move up here towards like 33, 37. How do you feel about the new YouTube video, Player UI? I haven't noticed it. What's different about it? Thanks for the shout out for Brave Browser, Tall Trader. I used that yesterday. And you're right, you don't get ads when you're watching videos on Brave. That was awesome. But I haven't seen the new UI. What's different? What's different about the UI? This looks the same. The user interface. YouTube video player UI. I think it looks the same to me. Thanks, bro. I knew it was some type of fib. Yes, exactly. It's a fib. A Fibonacci. Because you could eyeball it if you want and say, okay, you know, if price moves up like this, then obviously that's filled up maybe, you know, 50-60% of the range. You could eyeball it, but the way I trade is I have a very mechanical plan and I like to have everything literally measured out. So it kind of removes any, like, you know, second guessing. You know, sometimes you gotta second guess yourself. Oh, did we really break that wick? Is that a strong wick break? So if you start measuring small things out like this, like let's say if you're waiting for a 2-pip wick break, then you can be sure that the trade is triggered. Because sometimes it breaks and then it breaks like very small and it reverses and you start to think, oh man, maybe should I have been in this trade? You know, maybe if you're looking for 2-pip wick break, sometimes it comes like this close. It triggers and then it starts to pull back. So I think like the more mechanical your plan is, the more detailed it is, the better it is for you. For the most part. It will just kind of like help you keep your head on, you know? Keep your head on straight sometimes. Sometimes you need that. But if you're trading the 1 minute time frame, oh man, you know, things get a bit tricky on the 1 minute time frame. Because the 1 minute time frames, because you're looking for a tighter stop loss, sometimes you don't get your tighter stop loss. So it's a lot more impulsive and it's a lot faster, you know? Something you're not going to have all that time in the world to measure everything out. So if you see like prices consolidating, you have to plan both your buys and sells. Sometimes it gives you more time. Like you see this is all that this is. You see how spread out prices. So when I look at consolidations, this is what I'm thinking about. This is buying me time. I can see maybe potential buys above resistance and sells below support. So I know it's going to take some time for price to come down here so I can like navigate better. But sometimes you get these little small consolidation plays where it's like literally, you know, it can happen so fast. Look at this. We're heading towards like 65% now. Pretty nice. Man, this is crazy. This is honestly crazy. So just so you see what's been going on here. We've had one move from here to here. Got another move from here to here. That's 1, 2, here to down towards support. 3, here up towards this resistance. 4 swing entries back to back, man. That is insane. Freaky Friday over here. Damn. Let's go, Freaky Friday. This is crazy. This shark definitely on vacation. Got some lemmings on the beach. It said, I'm not going to be on gold today. I'm going to be on the beach. And you also got a, for Freaky Friday, let's see, Bitcoin is moving up. Man, Freaky Friday, we got Bitcoin moving up here too. All-time highs. We're probably going to hit like 120. I think 120 would be the psych mark to end off the week. And then you're going to see it on your Instagram. Bitcoin hit 120. And then people are going to be like, oh, buy Bitcoin. We're moving again. Because from 120, the next point is 130. So I'm sure you're going to see something about 120 on social media. We're literally just under it. And I don't know how much juice this candle still has left in it. It like gets to like 125. Still kind of a stretch, or 120 is nicely rounded. Almost there. This is a OB plus FVG zone. There you can retrace a little. GJ is reacting nicely for me off the 20 level. But I have to wait for the hourly close before I go in. Yeah, I mean, like, GJ is... As I said, GJ is that one friend who's always asking you for money, you know? Always asking you for money here. But I think GJ looks like price can at least have some kind of retracement. But I don't know. My relationship with GJ is very, very... it's a roller coaster. But I see for the most part, at least I respected this area It broke above resistance and now it's filled up the range up towards this zone. So that's good. At least that moved properly. Now it's breaking these lows. You should see some form of a retracement down. Daily accumulation. Market moves bearish, sideways, and bullish. Little downward bearish pressure into a sideways consolidation into a correction. And now that's the move. You know, like what I find is these setups, which actually take a while to set up, they're much easier to see. And obviously much easier to see because you get more candlesticks. But they're not necessarily the best trades. They're much easier to see, not necessarily the best trades. I rather like these kind of more risky, fast ones. Like, you know, price comes down quickly. Because essentially, you see what this is? This is basically what's happening over here. This is basically the same thing that this is. That's the same thing. It's just this has more candlesticks. But both price actually came down, moved sideways, moved bullish. Came down, moved sideways over here, and then moved bullish. But I kind of rather like these ones. These ones seem to have like a much better distributions. You see, same thing came down. This is more of like a little fakey situation to move up. This is what GJ is doing right now as well. Like kind of like a similar price action, moved up towards the resistance, and then came down. Let's say it came down, kind of moved sideways here, small accumulation on the 1 minute time frame, which is basically this again. Moving down, sideways, and then bullish. So if you go on the 1 minute, you're gonna see it better. Moving down, sideways, and then bullish. That was a distribution right there. Do you trade NY as well? No. I will not trade NY. If I can help it, I won't trade NY. I'll trade pre-New York, pre-London, and London session. NY session is a bit too noisy for me. Red folders and too many uncertainties with the New York session. I also noticed you're using the SMA and the EMA. Is there a good reason? Yes, man. Like the SMAs, if you come onto the Discord here or in the description box, you can get the SMAs. And there's a whole description on how I use my SMAs. Or you can just tune into the stream more often. Welcome Gbpjpy, Bam Bam US, flooring contractor, basketball producing music, learn new things and freedom. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Dun, 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 dun. But yeah, guys have been slaughtering markets today. Break of structure, entry SL to BE. Guys have been slaughtering markets. Oh, win. Yo, that's sick. WIN. What else can you spell over here? I'm gonna ruin it for you. Stop ruining it. Win. Put an I here. Can I not put an I? Oh man, I wanted to put winning. I wanted to put winning over here. Charlie Sheen. Winning. I can't put another N. Damn it. Maybe I can respond to this. Here it is. Winning. Y'all see this interview with Charlie Sheen? This was like peak Charlie Sheen. Nowadays, man, the last time I saw him, he looked homeless or something. Don't know what happened. That was a weird video I saw of him. Winning. I'm on holiday next week. I don't think the boss is going to let me trade. So if I am not on, have a good week. All right, Luke, don't make the boss angry. Do not make the boss angry, because this is the time that you have to give all your focus over there. So when you get back to trading, there's not going to be any excuses. So you got to give it 100% focus. Put a Y. You put a Y. Join the Discord. Put a Y. Are you looking for buys or sells? I'm looking to hand out whips. That's what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to hand out whips for dumb questions. But yeah, I think it's pretty nice over here. Now we have a price moving up to 33.39. 33.39 has been hit. Goldie is doing what we're doing, and you said this is why you gotta trade what you see and not what you feel. You see, there's a support here. Literally, when we came onto stream, what was the first thing that we draw? The first thing that we drew was resistance and support. We could see price was just ranging. So just trade what you see, not what you feel. See price selling off, buying the lows, buying the lows, selling the highs, buying the lows, selling the highs. Even we did mention that price is eventually gonna have to start moving, right, guys? Like the market is not gonna be so giving. It eventually has to break out of this zone. And it's gonna break the zone with volume, correct? But until that happens, you must keep trading what you see, not what you feel. So we just got another bounce of the lows. And your price has this next area here. It's a pretty small range. It's like 28 pips. But yeah, man, this is honestly insane. Like how it's, you know, it's one thing to bounce between levels. It's another thing to actually give you entry confirmations. Because most of the time we could just see bounces like this. You see this V-shaped reversal is a bit harder to catch. Unless maybe you're looking at the 1 minute. But it's another thing to actually get like rejections, fake outs, structure, and entry confirmation. So man, like this is really nice. This is giving so many opportunities. So many opportunities. I'm already up for the month here, like 23%. So I'm okay. But we shall see, guys. We shall see what we do for Freaky Friday. I don't know if I want to take another trade. I kind of want to take another trade. You know the problem is, let me tell you what's really the one thing that I struggle with, yeah? It's a balance between sending a signal for people to end at least with this W or taking another trade and then somebody ending with a loss. Because the next trade can be a losing trade. You know, for me, I can handle this. I can handle the next trade being a losing trade. But I don't know, you always got to think about it. When you're doing like signals, you always got to think about, oh, you know, maybe some people are going to say like, oh, that's like an overtrade on a Friday. And now you got to like deal with that part of the psychology as well. Which I find it like a little difficult sometimes. But, you know, I think at the end of the day, you must just do what you do, correct? And I do majority of the time what I want to do. Most of the time, I'm just doing what I want to do. But it's always something to just keep in mind that I don't like. It's always at the back of my mind. But I do want to take another trade. That's why I say once you become profitable, guys, don't trade people's money. Because it's one thing to send a signal and someone has a choice to make if they want to take it or not. But it's another thing if somebody gives you money and they expect like some kind of return. You know, never do that. That's going to really mess you. I think like Ricardo's doing it, but you know, he's doing it pretty... I hope he's doing it pretty responsibly. I think he is. But man... I think that also adds some kind of pressure. So it's something that you definitely gonna feel. It messes up your trading as well. Down for the day, W week. Let's go Sandile. Very nice. What about... Where do you think this is gonna break out though, chat? Are we breaking bullish or bearish? For Freaky Friday, because this is gearing up for Freaky Friday. This is gearing up for Freaky Friday over here. I don't think we've had the... you know, we still have opportunity for the freakiness. This is already quite freaky though, to see that there's 0 shocks in the water. But I still think there's room here. I still think there's room here for some kind of breaks. Bullish. Yeah, it could be bullish. Wherever it's gonna go, it's gonna have a very good break. Dun, dun. Sorry guys, give me a second, I'll be right back. Yeah, out of the buys now. No, sir. For some reason today, my YouTube decided not to work well. I've been following, though not with the time. What do you mean your YouTube decided not to work well? Well, you didn't get a notification? If you're on the Discord, you're gonna get the notification though. It's usually sent over to the TFX live channel over here. Yeah, prices moved up to the top of the range again. Yo, if this next setup plays out, that's insane. That's like 5 back-to-back. I haven't seen that happen before. 5 back-to-back. Holy. What's going on here, Ricardo? Oh, you're gonna miss it with a few pips. So close. So close. I need a little vacation. Alrighty. Let's see. What's the daily doing? Up 0.54%. That's not light work. 0.54% is actually quite good. But it just needs to break this range. This daily could easily end at 1%. You know, look at the weekly here, guys. Oh, now the weekly is reflipping. Oh, yeah. I think actually, you know, a bullish move would make the most sense for the New York session. So once we start breaking on the 30, see this 30-minute consolidation. It's a consolidation play on the 30-minute. So once it starts breaking, I think that lines up beautifully with the weekly. And you're just going to kind of have to ignore the structure on the daily. There's really this nasty structure here on the other time frames. But this trade would be, I think this trade would be based off the weekly time frame, because the weekly is about to close. And we all know when a candlestick is about to close, it's going to have like more of a push. You guys have seen this happen before, like 10 seconds, 20 seconds or whatever, 1 minute, it has more of a push. So you're expecting that once we break out of this accumulation, which you can see, doji candlestick on the LTF, that's that barcoding as well. You can think of it this way. On the LTF, this weekly is like barcoding, accumulating. And once that's re-breaking its own weekly highs, that it can start moving up over here. Get like a small wick fill on the previous candle and start pushing up. And then look at this part here as a fake out. Closing below that support. That's like another fake out to rip price upwards. So yeah, if you said bullish direction, I'm also with you on that bullish direction. I think for Freaky Friday, oh, look at these candles. Don't even have a bottom wick over here, and they're just pushing up. I would expect more of a push towards the upside as well, to be honest. Yes, I said earlier, the big move will come in NY. Yeah, hitting a... What did you say? Hitting 4,000 plus 4,700. Maria, I think that's very ambitious, you know. That is very ambitious. 4,000 plus. I don't think so. If I was going to gamble on this and my life depended on it, I would gamble we're not hitting $4,000 today. I don't think that's going to be possible. Look at where the daily is. On average, daily candlesticks maybe move like, you know, 500 pips. Maybe on a really good time. Even, let's say, even say 1,000 pips. That would be 34.20. You see? 34.20. 3,500. We're only breaking 3,500 once we get fundamentals come in. Like something needs to change in the macroeconomic space. But I don't think there's anything like that here today. Even just technically, I don't think this candle has enough juice to get up there. Dude. But we can't see 3360 at least. That's what I'm thinking. 3360. You know, it's at least it's by this daily resistance. The total volume of the daily will be like 354 pips. It could keep pushing past 3360, but that's the next sort of like pit stop that we have is at 3360. I think, you know, one thing I've noticed is that it's better to be don't be overly ambitious with trades and trading ideas. It's better to be under ambitious and have it keep going than to be overly ambitious and have it reversed, like you don't make your targets. It's better to undershoot than overshoot. Down for the day, but so tempting to take sells now. Yes, man, especially just because it's been all playing out beautifully. Can hold more trades today. Closed it. Little sell, boom, entry out. Nice. In and out. I need a vacation. I think if I take a vacation, maybe I'll do it towards the end of the year. If anything, I'm not going to do it now. This is prime time. 3470. My typing numbers are crazy. Oh, yes, man. I think you had a really bad typo there. 3470 is more possible. 3470 is just right over here. Yeah, I would say 3470 as well. Like around this region for sure. We could get up to. That's realistic. That's very realistic. Now, are we ready to break is the question on this candlestick. Can we finally get the pop up? You break above 33.43 there. And get that distribution. $34.70. Oh, wait. 30. 34.70. Oh, 34.70. Damn, Maria. 34.70. Holy. That's another 1,274 pips from where we currently are at right now. You know, if you look at it this way, when was the last time a candlestick even moved that big? You know, these are all the previous daily candles since this range. We've never had a candlestick move this big before. So what's the probability that a candle moves that big? You know, on a single daily, what's the probability? This one here was crazy. But all right, let's say I did it from here. So I'm taking the full length of the candlestick body. That's 1,488 pips. You know, I measured just from where we are at, but I'm mostly looking at the full candlestick body. It can like, it's such a low probability. I don't think we've seen a candlestick here do that. We've had some candlesticks come close. You know, different times. You know, we probably had some different things moving the market at that point. Some fundamentals. But yeah, we have not seen that happen. But anyway, guys, you know, I'm going to call it a day over here. I'll see if I take another trade. But I'm going to go and call it a day here. I appreciate you all tuning in. And I will see you for the London session next week. We trade from the London Open. That's 3 a.m. Eastern. Take care, everybody. Enjoy your weekend and adios.
No time for this slip, homie. Now we bout to dip.